Please stand clear of the beers. Por favor, manténganse alejada de las cervezas.
Welcome aboard Three Sheets to the Mouse, your shot of bourbon in the sky. For those of you listening, this podcast contains adult humor, so earmuff your children and stay clear of the elderly. And for the comfort of others, send nudes, please. Thank you.
That little pig.
Now that is phenomenal.
I love shaking my booty.
I've never been to the Edison.
I know it sounds sorted, but you'll be rewarded when at last I am given my dues. And injustice deliciously squared, be free.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 120 of Three Sheets to the Mouse. We're four average guys with love for all things Disney. I'm Scott, and joining me on tonight's show are three guys who have finally figured out the difference between a bosun and a coxswain. Mikey.
Well, the thing is, you put the coxswain in the bosun, and then someone screams, mate.
Tim.
Did you guys give Olga 3 weeks off? It smells like a locker room in here. Come back from vacation, it stinks.
Yeah, we didn't clean up at all.
Surprised.
There's some empties over there in the corner.
I'm texting her right now. She's got to come when we leave tonight because I can't deal with this.
Some of us just finished our laundry from a month ago.
Hey, you know what? I don't have time to do this. And Adam.
You put the lime in the coconut as well.
Yes, you do. Just don't put your lime in the coxswain.
That sounds like burning.
It would burn.
Yeah. Well, don't put your cocks in the lime.
Oh, definitely don't put your coxswain in the lime. We're here to talk to you about some Disney parks, Disney booze, and a little bit of debauchery in between. So sit back, relax, grab a Singapore sling, and enjoy the adult side of Disney with Three Sheets to the Mouse. Speaking of Singapore slings, you know, because I figured since you guys went to the Pacific.
Yeah.
But we
weren't
weren't
that
really
far.
near Singapore. I mean, we might have...
We were closer to Russia. We could see it from our cabin window.
Actually, not from the window. We actually had to go out and sit on the patio to see it. So.
You tell Gorbachev hello?
Yeah. Did you wave to him?
No, but we're able to almost make out that birthmark he has on his head.
Oh, the one that's shaped like a
Yes.
gulag.
I thought it was shaped like Louisiana.
So what speaking of Singapore slings, what are we drinking tonight? Adam, what do you got?
I got a porthole with pear cider.
Also,
made up.
some place you don't want to put your cocks in.
Yeah, you don't want to put in a porthole filled with pear cider.
To each their own?
Yeah, hey, look, we don't kink shame. We said that before. We don't kink shame. So you guys did what Mikey did. Was that last week, Mikey, or the week before that?
2 weeks past.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
2 weeks ago.
It was the day. It was the day we were leaving.
That's right.
It was that Sunday we were leaving.
It was my honor for them.
So you guys used up the porthole from the Disney Cruise. The same one they actually used.
Yes.
And you filled yours with
Oranges, limes, and strawberries with Woodford. And some cherries. Although, on the Wonder, they use cherries that are called filthy black cherries, which I'm trying to now find.
Are they like Bing cherries?
No, they're actually Italian Amarano cherries, but they're cooked. And they're really good.
Are they like sweet or like tart black cherries?
They're tart. They're like tart black cherries.
Okay.
They're yummy.
And then you fill it up with bourbon, let it sit for an hour.
Yep.
And then, how does the cider come into play?
After you pour it into the glass, you pour the cider on top. But
Okay.
they use Recorderlic cider on the ship, and I couldn't find any, so I'm using Angry Orchid Pear, and it's not the same. It's flat. I think it's flat.
I'm not a big fan of cider.
I'm not either, but in this drink, it's really good.
Well, the other thing about it is that the cider they used on the ship is a really pale-looking cider. It's not very strong tasting, and it doesn't overwhelm anything. It was tasty. They had 3 or 4 different ones.
3. You get strawberry, passion fruit, or pear. And we tried each one. The pear was our favorite, followed by the
Yeah, I was going
passion.
to say the pear would probably go best.
I concur. Though I wasn't there.
Interesting. Well, now, how does this compare to the porthole you guys had on the
I
Magic?
kind of like the one on the Magic a little bit better because
Yeah, there's more.
And that one had...
had spices and
yeah,
stuff. in it,
I'm
too.
more of a
Yeah, that one had like star
yes,
anise.
I'm more of a spicy person.
And I want to say there was rosemary or thyme in it as well.
There was I want to say it was
I remember seeing some
star
green
anise,
stuff.
rosemary, and I want to say possibly coriander.
Also, I was
Something.
there.
Yes, you
think,
were there.
I think that's why it was better.
We drank a lot of those.
Did that one have cider on it?
I don't remember. You're asking a lot.
I believe it did, yeah, but you could only get the strawberry with that one. We didn't have the choice
Okay.
of flavors.
But I mean, I guess it was the time we went. Also, they might change it up seasonally for fruits.
Yeah. That
So
makes
we
some
went-
sense.
We went in October, so that might have been a little bit more of a wintry mix than what we had on this one.
Right. Interesting. Well, it sounds good. Mikey, what do you got?
Well, because I'm so happy that my boys are back.
You're drinking Pappy?
No. I can't even afford a dozen 2x4s. I can't afford Pappy. Actually, that's going to make my next statement completely ridiculous. I'm having some Blanton's Gold.
Oh,
Oh.
can't afford 2x4s. Let's have some Blanton's Gold. That makes perfect sense.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't want your Pappy. I would like the Blanton's Gold.
Please, I will like your Blanton's Gold. Just pour it in the palm of my hands. I will lick it.
We got to Vancouver. Well, when James got to Vancouver, as soon as he got to the hotel, I handed him the horse.
Uh-huh.
He's like, "You guys didn't finish that already, did you?"
Like the two of
We
us.
I'm
two of
almost
us.
done with mine.
This is 2 of us.
You know what? I've made it a mission to drink that when I can because one, I want to get it back to him quickly.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have to do that, and damn it, it's so fucking
Yeah,
good.
it's
good.
no problem.
I
I
have
cried
to,
when we bottled that down.
I have to finish mine by by my birthday on the 12th of September because that's when he's picking us up to head.
Oh, you got time? You got
Oh
like
yeah,
20
no, I
minutes.
know, but this is the second time I've had some since I got it from him.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
you better
oh my
get to
gosh,
work.
Get to work.
Mikey. You know, you can always send
He's
us
savoring it.
vials if you're having problems drinking it. We will accept it.
It's in
Yeah,
the bottom
we'll-
of the cabinet,
we'll help out.
way in the back. Like I had to pull a bunch of stuff out to get to it.
See, that's why I keep it on the middle shelf so I can reach
Right,
it.
all your shelves are the middle shelf, Scott.
That's not true. I got some top shelves.
Yeah, for you.
He has to climb on top of his desk.
Yeah, I've got a step stool. Leave me alone. Well, I had one until someone
Nobody
broke
broke
it.
the step stool. I mean, never mind.
That step stool is an occupational hazard. I want to go on record saying OSHA should come down there and take a good look at the structural integrity of not only that step stool, but I have a suspicion that may or may not be founded that you did not use the anti-tip over bracket that came furnished with the kit. That
Yeah, well, we pay OSHA off pretty well.
And I'm pretty sure that
They don't-
front door
they
wasn't
don't
up to
bother us.
code either.
That front door was old, man.
There's a front door.
That was an antique.
Sorry
what are
about
we
the
talking
window.
about? I've never been to this place.
is that why you're doing some work on
so-
the house out front, Scott? Did something happen to the window?
That's right. So tonight I wanted to grab one of the Speakeasy's favorites. And this is one Brant actually introduced to me. Isaac Bowman Port Barrel Finished Whiskey. It's delicious. It's excellent.
You went and
whiskey.
got another bottle of that, huh?
Yep, kind of had to.
I heard you had a rodent problem
Kinda
while
had
you were
to.
away.
Yeah, well, you know, Shia LaPossum is he's here to stay.
Ew, you're keeping it?
Oh yeah, and Zaccoon.
Okay.
We're gonna keep them. They're our
They're
new pets.
rabid.
He sits in the corner. They're not
They're
rabid.
drunk,
They're
I
docile.
believe. They're not rabid.
Yeah. There you
they're,
go.
they're walking funny because they're inebriated.
Zaccoon prefers the Zaccoon prefers the Scotch, and the Shiloh Possum prefers the whiskey.
As you
Bourbon.
would.
So you guys are finally back. We missed you.
Missed you guys
We've
too.
had a lot of fun.
Could have used you last week.
What did we do last week?
We also missed Goofy, apparently.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'd like to
that's
formally apologize for Scott and myself
Wait,
having not mentioned
I
Goofy
haven't made it.
as
I haven't listened to the whole episode yet because I've been breaking it up on my car rides. But you guys didn't mention Goofy as a dad.
No,
we
but
forgot
Scott
him.
mentioned Pete.
I mentioned
and I want to go
Pete.
on record as saying technically it's not my fault because I haven't seen
A Goofy
And
movie.
also,
No, he
a
mentioned
Goofy
um,
movie.
You know,
But it's like-
you also kind of missed somebody on the replacement dad thing too.
Who's that?
What about
Baymax?
Donald and his nephews?
But he's an uncle. I mean, I guess he's a
He
step
shipped
up.
him off to Scrooge.
Or
Now this is
or
true.
Scrooge for that matter. If you watch the new
Not a great
DuckTales,
dad.
Scrooge
the
hated
new
them.
DuckTales,
Not a great dad.
watch the new
Didn't really
DuckTales.
teach them.
Watch the new DuckTales.
Scrooge thought they were nuisance.
Well, they are because they're children, and most
Nuisances.
children are. But
This is true.
but watch the new DuckTales. Kind of disappointed in you guys.
Yeah.
You know what? If all we missed was Donald and Goofy, it was a good.
No,
good
you only
show.
missed two of
Maybe
the
part
top
two.
5. It's fine.
Well, Mickey has no children
That we know of.
because
Well, he's a
Well-
rodent. They multiply pretty quickly, and they eat their young sometimes.
I was gonna say,
so-
I bet you one of those two, Mortimer and whatever the other one is, the little nephews. I bet they aren't really nephews. Let's talk about your little cruise. Your
Oh,
7-day, 14-night
Are
cruise.
we talking about Vancouver at all?
Oh
Okay.
yes, we're gonna talk about that.
No, I didn't know
have to- we have to
if
talk
we
about
were
Vancouver.
because that was before,
Oh, yes.
technically before the cruise. So,
Well, it's not part of it.
so after
You did fly to Vancouver.
yes, oh, aren't you fancy?
Well,
By way
Vancouver.
of Colorado.
I'm drinking Blanton's Gold.
by way of
course I'm
1400 hour flying. No, not really.
Yeah, that was a
It
long
was a long
flight.
day of traveling.
It was a very long day.
Well, you had to stop over in the Rocky Mountains.
Yes, for like what were we there for like an hour?
Not even an hour.
Okay.
That John Denver guy's full of shit.
We had enough time to scoff down a pretzel from Wetzel's Pretzels and get on a second plane. So it wasn't long at all.
And then from there you flew to Vancouver.
Yes.
Now, would you guys spend just a day there?
Day and a
full
half.
Day and a half.
Day and a half.
We got there Saturday around. By the time we got to the hotel, it was around 12:30-ish. And then we spent the rest of the day Saturday, all day Sunday, and then Monday was boarding day for the ship.
It was awesome. We traveled 8 hours. We left at 6 a.m. and landed at noon. It was Scott math.
Well,
Went back in time.
technically, we left here at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
That's
We
true.
left the house at 2:30 in the morning.
I slept.
You went back in
Yes.
time.
Yeah,
We
is what
did
you did.
magic. And so we arrived. We got there a few hours before Jen, James, and the rest of our party got there. So we wandered around Vancouver, and we were close to the airport. Maybe what? 5-10 minute drive from the airport.
The area that we were in was called the neighborhood was called Minoru. The Minoru section of Vancouver. It's kind of southwestish. Where we're staying was actually the Hilton Airport. Hotel.
Okay.
It was called Hilton Airport. So it was like maybe 10 minutes from the airport.
Really beautiful, nice hotel. Everybody's
The views were
nice.
amazing.
Everybody's super nice in Canada, like really, really nice. Even the taxi
until you give them an
drivers,
NBA
until
championship.
we have an issue there too. But so we wander around the area a little bit, do a little bit of sightseeing. Nothing too crazy. It's very Asian. The area that the hotel was in.
We instantly
you-
found the
yeah.
liquor store.
Oh yeah, that.
Of course you
Because
did.
you know, the first thing I yelp when I land is where's the nearest liquor store, and it was literally a block and a half away.
Now, is this the liquor store you found the $25,000 bottle of
That is
Dalmore?
correct.
Yes, and the whole rack of Chateau Lafite.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's talk about. Okay, let's talk about fancy liquor stores. I have never seen a bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild in the wild.
I have once, and that was at the liquor store in Boca, which, I mean, you can expect that.
Yeah.
I have never seen a whole row of multiple vintages.
No. And ranging back from like
80,
I want to say there was like
8 or 86.
Yeah, 2000 something to like 1985.
Yeah, it was insane.
How much was that 1985, by the way?
It was relatively inexpensive. It wasn't as expensive as, like, say, a 96 was here. I think the bottle that we saw in Boca was a 96, and it was like $1,500 or $1,600.
Mm-hmm.
The 85, I think, was 1,100 Canadian. So that's $2.
Yeah.
Just so you know, everything in Canada, no matter what the actual
$2.
cost, is $2 according to Tim.
No, it's probably like, I think $1,100 Canadian is probably about $9.
It's like $650. Okay, give them a break.
It's about $900.
Their conversion rate's not that bad.
Not anymore.
Well, it got worse. It got worse.
It got worse when we were there. But, I mean, it wasn't awful. And we met when James and Jen landed. They had some issues. Okay, Canadian customs are really interesting. So what you do if you've ever traveled to Vancouver anyway, you get off the airport and you walk through this whole long hallway through the airport. When you actually get downstairs, there are these computer kiosks, for lack of a better term, where you stick your passport in and you take your picture. Well, this is the most disorganized thing I've ever seen in my life. Where the line where you go to speak to somebody actually kind of snakes through those computer kiosks.
What?
Yeah, so people are kind of getting done with their kiosk and just jumping in the line no matter what the line looks like or where the line actually ends.
I thought Canadians were polite.
They're very polite, but they're confused.
They're very polite. Yeah, and through customs, they're not all Canadians.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
No, this was going into
Well,
Canada.
Yeah.
So by the time James and Jen got there was a bunch of delays from prior days. So this custom areas is 2 stories. The line was backed up the escalator.
Oh.
So I would highly recommend if you are leaving from Vancouver from a cruise, getting there a day or 2 before. Because that would be the worst feeling in the world when you're trying to enter Canada and you're going to miss your boat because of it.
Yeah, if you tried to fly in on embarkation day.
Yeah, that would be hell. I'd be a manic mess.
Yeah, Mikey, you thought you guys were running late getting to New York? You guys would have missed the boat if you went the day of with this cruise, because it was insane.
Well, you know, in Mikey's fairness, he did have to go through customs in New York.
No, we didn't.
No, I didn't.
That's a southern joke.
I'm a southern guy and didn't get it.
Yeah, I didn't.
Tim, help me.
He's trying to say that Arkansas is a different country, and you gotta, come back to the real world to.
So
It's not funny when you have to explain it, Tim.
It wasn't funny
enough.
before.
It just wasn't funny. We have airports here. Son of a bitch. We've even got a train.
I'm flying to see them in a couple months.
Well,
Right?
Look, I've seen that
I'm gonna
flight.
have to go
It's
through
the one where Indiana
customs?
Jones gets on and there's chickens.
I'm gonna have to go.
No, you're thinking of Police Academy.
All right. Anyway, so
Customs in Vancouver sucks.
awful. Coming into Canada, going out was pretty easy though. So we waited for James and Jen, and their daughter Megan and her friend Natasha. So we all arrived. We get there, and we're pretty well traveled. So we figured, we're gonna take the train to our next area.
We couldn't figure out how to work the machine to buy the tickets.
Not a fast pass.
Oh no!
kiosk,
And
huh?
the sad part was, it was in English. It was just a bunch of idiots who've been drinking trying to figure this out at this point. So we actually had to have a Canadian person help us, which they did. And we got on the train, and we took the train over to where Soarin' over Canada is.
Oh, BC place.
And
So,
it's
yeah,
actually
Soarin'
called
over
Fly
Canada.
Over Canada.
Fly over Canada.
Yeah. They actually have it in. If you're in the Mall of America, you can actually go see it now. They have a theater there that shows Fly Over Canada.
Can I tell you that this blows our Soarin' out of the fucking water?
Yes.
It's like 13 minutes long. It's a long.
The whole attraction itself is 26 minutes.
Yeah.
With pre-show and the actual ride.
Of course it blows Soarin' out
I
of the
mean,
water.
it was just amazing. It was beautiful. If you are in Vancouver, definitely go see it. However, whatever you do not walk through Chinatown.
Don't go to Chinatown. Chinatown is not Chinatown.
Chinatown is actually pretty scary.
Yeah.
It's like Chinatown. It's like Chinatown in DC.
No. Chinatown in Vancouver is where all the meth heads go.
Oh,
It's
no,
a
that's
tent
not-
city. It's hypodermics on the floor. It's bad.
It's like Chinatown in San Francisco.
Yes. No,
We literally walk the block in and turn around and walk back out.
we thought we were gonna. Oh, we're used to Chinatown, New York Chinatown. Oh, we're gonna find some dim sum. We're gonna enjoy this. Yeah, no, not a good idea. So we end up going back, eating in the next door hotel.
And this is the story of how Tim and Adam almost died.
Oh, all of us almost died. It was just not a good time.
It was so bad that the girls were walking ahead of us, and me and Jen were eagle eyes watching them because every bum and vagrant was just eyeing the girls. So let somebody try something because I'm ready to throw down at this point. It was bad. It was really bad.
So the next day, we wake up, get all ready, and we go to, what was the area called?
Granville Island.
Which is awesome.
Oh, this is the one in the Sound.
Yes.
It's just
Yeah.
you take a boat out
No.
there, right?
No,
We hailed a cab, and we just rode down to Granville.
well, actually, we called the car service.
Yes. And this was really cool. This has a whole bunch of breweries. This has a whole bunch of distilleries. It had a sake bar.
Yeah.
It was. We just spent and walked through, and they had not museums.
Art galleries, jewelry stores, a sake bar.
And
It's kind of like a little Soho.
Soho when it was fun.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
When people would still talk to you. I mean, the first art exhibit we went into, I spoke to this lady for 20 minutes about old cameras. Nothing to do with much of anything that was going on, but we just had a whole conversation. It was just awesome. Just connect. You actually had a chance to connect with people, and you don't get that a lot in New York anymore.
Especially art galleries in New York. If you're not buying anything, they're not going to talk to you. She was the actual artist of the gallery, and her medium was she would take pictures and print them on
Put
glass,
them on the glass.
and then light them
Oh,
from behind.
old school
Yes.
style.
Yeah, it was really cool. Expensive, but really cool.
And then I got pretty lit.
Yeah, because we spent.
Wait.
The girls went jewelry shopping, so James, Adam, and I went to a restaurant called Bridges, and we just started drinking local beers.
And then that's where we had the poutine
Yes,
and some other food item.
it was some fish thing that you guys had. Some seafood.
I was going to say, you didn't have it.
No, I didn't.
No.
And then we ended up after that. The worst part about the whole Canada experience was trying to figure out how to get off of Granville Island, because the taxi situation there was kind of weird. There was supposed to be a taxi stop, and it was very crowded because there was a children's exhibition going on the same day, so it was very crowded. I mean, that would be my only real complaint about our whole trip to Canada.
Well, there's
The
no
taxis.
actual road into the island. You kind of have to walk through.
Right.
No, there is. There's a road that goes through it, but it's little just congestion because there's people walking on it, and the taxis in Vancouver are all governed by the local government. So they're all regulated by the government. They're all run by the government. They're individual companies, but the government sets the rates. They set the dispatching, and it's just a mess. It's a huge mess. But we did try some Canadian whiskey.
Which was surprisingly good.
Surprisingly good.
But this is a
Hey,
micro.
you know what?
This is a micro distiller.
Canada kind of. They've got some good stuff, and they've got some
I
okay
mean, it's
stuff.
not Canadian Club.
This is true.
Well,
Or mist.
or missed.
But it was really
Or the
good.
rich and rare.
I got stood on by a Canadian.
Standard?
Stood.
You got stood up by a Canadian. You had
Stood
a
on.
hot date.
Well, that was the street performers, which were
Yeah.
That guy, Mikey and I actually watched that video just prior to recording. Impressive.
amazing
And fun.
And that was
He was
Very
fun.
It was very fun.
James missed some of the original interactions, but when he turned around and said he handed the guy from the United States, which was Tim, and a guy from Mexico machetes, and then he turned around and said,
Oh no, that was on there.
face
Was on
each
there?
other.
That was on
It was
there.
awesome.
He's like, all right, now figure it out.
They face each other.
It was awesome. It was just a lot of fun.
I always get picked for these things. I don't know what it is.
It's the beer.
Yep,
Probably.
Because you're pop.
exactly. And then
They don't expect you to be that fun, but then you're a lot more fun than anybody thought.
Yeah, because initially, I don't know if James caught this part, but initially I was standing there, and I always stand around and my arms are crossed. And he initially singled me out for that. He's like, "You can uncross your arms, sir. I promise you nobody's trying to steal your nipples." And then after that, he beeline for me for everything.
Well, you laughed at his first joke. It's always a plus.
Yeah, he was a funny guy.
And then the next day was like, did we do? Oh, the night. Okay, so we have a sheeter tip, but we don't necessarily recommend doing it because you can get caught.
Okay.
Are you talking about the whole wine thing?
Yeah. So if you want that sheeter tip, feel free to maybe private message us because I don't know if we should broadcast that one.
No, we shouldn't broadcast that.
This tangent brought to you by the Miami Mafia Tea Company.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes,
All right,
actually,
so
Yes,
yes.
and that's
2019.
exactly how we'll leave that at the end.
Actually, I think it's 2018. No, wait, no. Miami Mafia's been around since 2017.
2017, yeah.
Yeah.
So since 2017, Miami Mafia.
Yeah,
Tea
so
Company.
Cheater Tip brought to you by Miami Mafia. If you want to figure out that Cheater Tip, message Tim or Adam. They'll tell you all about it.
Exactly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, this happens.
Now, so the cruise terminal near the airport. How far did you guys have to
Well,
go?
we were staying at the hotel, so it was
Okay.
about what, a 20-minute ride.
It's literally BC Place.
Mm-hmm.
It's 20 minutes. It's literally right next door to where Flying Over Canada was.
It's in that
Same
same
building.
building.
Oh, okay. So it's in the harbor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like 20 minutes away. 20-minute cab.
Yeah, but I would definitely. The hotel that's attached to it is crazy expensive, so
Yes.
you're better off staying by the airport, in my opinion. You can get every place you really need to go by train or public transportation.
Yeah.
Cabs are not awful expensive, and most of the time your hotel will help you hail a cab to the terminal, which is what we had our hotel do. We paid for it in advance and we were ready to go.
It's funny. The Canada place or BC place looks like a cruise ship in itself.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And they're under major construction right now, too.
Yeah, they're refurbing Fly Over Canada and that whole area. They're putting in a restaurant and a
Oh
gift
shit!
shop.
The Niagara Falls are now going to be crooked.
No, because you see, actually in Fly Over Canada, you don't have that lift hill.
You don't go up.
You just go
Oh,
out.
You
really?
just go straight out. You just go straight out.
Oh, that's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
So that it's not, yeah, it just nothing curved for his or her pleasure.
Oh, that's
Were
a
there any
bummer.
ribs?
I don't remember seeing you guys eat ribs.
No, I didn't even.
No, that was at the Chinese.
Well, I know
we forgot
Tim-
about
Tim
the
doesn't
dim
eat
sum,
ribs.
the Chinese restaurant that y'all were afraid to go
Oh,
to.
so you did find some
Oh,
dim
yeah.
sum, just not in
Yeah,
Chinatown.
well, it,
No, it was literally a block away from our hotel.
here's the problem with going on vacation with me, is that I'll find a restaurant that everybody's afraid to go to, and it turns out really good most of the time, but I kind of just did the Yelp thing, found this restaurant, and like, hey, let's try this.
Yes, it works.
So we walked over to the restaurant. It was packed.
Very packed.
We were the only non-Asian people in the whole restaurant.
Hey,
it was
that's a
food.
good sign.
Yeah.
That is a really good sign. That is a really good sign. And then the waitress was really great. She told us what to stay away from, what not to order, what to order, and it worked out well.
It worked out awesome.
Oh, that's
we
good.
had soup. What the hell was it?
The pork soup bao buns.
The steamed dumplings, the
Steamed
soup wonton. Oh, they were so good. I could have ate 4,000, and we had boneless spare ribs.
Oh, so you did have some ribs.
Yes,
And
some chicken dish.
green beans cooked in pork. Ground pork.
What?
Yes, green beans with ground pork is so good.
Oh my god.
Everything on that.
No, we do
want-
that with bacon down here.
Everything on that table ended up being amazing. I can't remember the name of the restaurant for the life of me, but I know exactly where it is when we go back.
I'm sure one of the girls remembers.
I want.
It was very, very good. It was better than the New York Chinatown's quality, in my opinion.
And we had lots of Sing Tao. Was it Sing Tao beer?
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Sing Sao, yeah.
That
It's actually not bad. It's
Wasn't
not bad.
awful.
It's not bad. It's about like a
Stella.
wasn't awful.
They have it in Nine Dragons and the Lotus Blossom Cafe. It's okay. You know what? I'll tell you what. It is actually pretty refreshing on a hot day. Not that you guys had a hot day in Canada. It was probably like 30 below.
Not even close to
No,
it.
it was really warm.
It was
really warm.
beautiful. It was warmer there when we got home. Yeah.
Well, it's New York in summer, so it's winter.
It just made no sense. But
It doesn't.
we went back to the hotel, did our thing, and then we got up and went to the port. And it's not a dedicated Disney port. So it was a little chaotic when we got there. I think the ship arrived late from the cruise prior.
Yeah.
Well, there's only like, what, 2 or 3 docks,
oh no.
right?
There's like
No, there's more.
3 or 4 docks.
Yeah, there's like
Oh,
4
is there?
docks.
Okay.
And there's a princess boat and I think a Norwegian boat too when we were there.
Alaska is a very popular cruise destination.
Well, yeah.
Shanghai River, that's the name of the restaurant.
Okay. So we went there. We got there early because we like being there early, and we waited about an hour before we actually boarded the ship, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yes, got on the ship, and that's when the real fun began.
Yeah, so this was the Wonder, right?
This was a Disney
Yes.
Wonder. I actually did. It's not a huge ship. It's about the same shot. It's almost
It's the
same ship.
Same size
the
as the
sa-
Magic.
yeah, it's-
But
it's the
it
same
was
size
built
as the
differently
Magic.
than the Magic.
Yes.
Well, they have definitely a few different.
Well, it
Well,
was-
we found out it's built completely different.
Yes.
The Magic was built in 2 pieces.
was it
yes.
really?
You had 2 different docks and then brought together.
Which is common.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's common.
The Wonder was built all together in one dock.
Mm-hmm. And
Hopefully, it wasn't in Belfast.
No, it was somewhere in Italy. Mm-hmm. However,
Yeah, they partner with an Italian shipbuilder.
the Wonder seemed smaller.
Really?
Yeah, even though it was the same size, it just seemed a little smaller.
I don't know. Well, there was less daylight on that cruise too, so that could be a factor in it
was
too.
Almost 24 hours of daylight in this cruise.
And the deck was never that crowded because of some of the weather that we ran into. So we get on the ship. Our first day, our usual Cabanas lunch. So we went upstairs, grabbed some lunch at Cabanas. At which point, shortly after, Jen and I, after lunch, went over and toured the spa area. And it's really cool looking. We couldn't hang around for the auction, for the raffle, because they do a raffle on the first day. So that's a pro tip. If you have time and you get on the ship early enough, go to the spa. The first day they usually have some sort of raffle where they'll give away a spa package. And you never know what exactly you're going to get. Men, they also have a separate men's like barber area now on the ship as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they have a full little barber shop set up for just the guys, which is pretty sweet.
That's cool.
But we walked through there, and they showed us the spa room. And at this point, I asked for a day pass, and they weren't actually giving them out on this cruise for some reason. And my guess was that because it's so cold on this cruise that people want to use this spa area. And you have 2 different steam rooms. And I think it's 3 or 4 different showers. I don't remember. It's 3 different showers. But I mean, it was.
Those are the rainfall shower types with scents
one's
and stuff.
like a rainforest, one's like a thunder shower, and one's the cold. We'll go into detail later because I actually had a chance. We actually were gifted 2 spa passes, 2-day passes.
Oh, nice.
So, and that we did on the last day of the cruise because it was like kind of like our going away present to ourselves. And then, shortly after that, at 2:00, we had our first tasting.
Oh, hey. No time like the present.
Well,
Bang it
you're
out
still
right.
at the port, right? You were still.
Yeah, we're still in port. Yeah, we didn't even have our sail away yet.
It was at 2:00, and it was our whiskey tasting. No, champagne tasting.
No, champagne
Correction.
tasting at Cadillac Lounge.
Yes.
So this was just champagne.
Yeah.
Now,
Champagne.
were you on the smaller ship, Scott?
Yes, I was on the Magic.
The Cadillac Lounge is freaking amazing.
Yes.
It looks beautiful.
It is
I like
stunning.
it way better than Keys.
Keys is very Art Deco, whereas the Cadillac Lounge is more.
Cadillac-y.
Yeah, it looks.
Well, it's
I
still,
mean, the
it's still Art
benches-
Deco because there's the chrome and the neon.
Yeah.
But the Keys on the Magic just seems like it needs.
It needs an
update.
update. Yeah,
I mean-
well, and the Cadillac Lounge is fairly new.
No, it's not.
That was. I don't think that was the original name of the
was.
lounge.
No, yeah.
Was it really?
It's the only thing that was held over from the Route 66 area when it was Route 66 down there.
Huh. I thought that was updated recently.
I gotta be honest. The photo that was shared of the drinks and everything at the Cadillac Lounge from your trip there. I looked at it like 4 or 5 times before I realized that was like the front grill portion of an oversized Cadillac.
yeah.
Well, yeah, it's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
all based on an Eldorado.
Yeah, I just thought they went with a classy name of some kind, but then I realized,
No.
The little
Every-
tables are hubcaps.
With
yeah,
tires.
that's so cool. They're like hubcaps and
The
tires.
The couches are
Mm-hmm.
bench seats.
And the
from
best part about them, you didn't slide off of them.
you don't slide off.
like that trick
Yes.
seat. Yeah.
Well, the one that like slants downward.
Yeah.
And I hope he's not listening, but Bungie was way better than Aaron.
No, they were different. Be fair.
I like Bungie a lot better. He was more.
Well, let's talk about the Cadillac Lounge while we're here. The decor is awesome.
It's beautiful.
Decor
I
is
mean,
awesome.
you have
They've got the tail
yes,
fins on the wall.
It's a beautiful looking lounge. It really, really is.
It really does have that like New York lounge vibe.
Yeah.
More than Keys. Like Keys is supposed to be a New York lounge.
I wouldn't call it that. Like, Keys would be your upscale New York City lounge, where it would be like very private.
Keys reminds me of a hotel bar.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Whereas Cadillac
Yeah.
Lounge is more that niche bar where it's themed, a themed bar.
I just feel like looking at the videos and looking at the pictures of Cadillac Lounge, it just feels more like Sinatra and Rat Pack.
See, I would see that more at, believe it or not, Keys.
yeah. Me too.
This is a little too themed for that. If that
This
makes
is
sense.
more like Elvis and.
Yes, this is definitely more Elvis.
Steve McQueen.
A lot more flashy.
A lot more flashy. Because they didn't have the Frank Sinatra.
No, they didn't. So the menu that they have this Kettle One experience for 2, which is it looks pretty cool. Did you guys try it?
No, we just stuck to our Ecotinis and.
Yeah, I have a whole arm full of Ecotini bracelets.
Oh God.
I think Adam has 8. I've got 7. James has like 9.
It's bad. It came
So
to the
what
point that
is
it
the-
started cutting off circulation and like we had bead indents.
So for those that don't know what the Ecotini is, what is the Ecotini?
It's made with acai liquor. Mm-hmm. It tastes kind of like a limoncello margarita. That's what it tastes like.
And
But you get a bracelet made out of dried acai berries.
They're those like wooden bead bracelet
Mm,
things.
Anytime you get one, you get a bracelet, and they donate money to saving the rainforest. So, we're
So
helping
they
the
were doing
rainforest.
their part.
Yes.
So Tim, I'm gonna throw it over to you to the champagne tasting because I can't remember anything except for the girl with her accent, and I loved her. I wanted to take her.
She
home.
was actually, I don't remember her name. I know Jennifer remembers her name. She was the actual sommelier for Triton's.
Okay. The main restaurant, the upscale restaurant.
Yes. And it was we tried a demi-sec. I forgot what a demi-sec was. Was it Moet? No, the Moet was a rosé, right?
Moet was the
So you
rosé.
get to try a
correct.
rosé.
We had
like a rosé champagne.
We had the Moet. We had Moet. We had the
We have Veuve,
Veuve Clicquot,
regular Veuve, Clicquot.
and was it Bollinger?
It was Bollinger,
Oh, I love Bollinger.
And the one on ice, which is I didn't like.
Moet on ice,
Which is weird.
Moet on
There's-
ice.
It was
There's a story about it. It's too long to tell it. I have to write it and put it in the group. But it was done by Madame Moet, and she was like, I want to do champagne on ice. And
they don't sell it in France. They refuse
they
to
won't
sell it in France. It's so.
Of course they would refuse to sell
but
that in
it's so
France.
sweet. It doesn't even taste like
it's very
champagne
sweet.
anymore.
No, it doesn't.
But
It tastes like a cider.
the only thing I can say about this particular presentation is that we went to the champagne tasting during Food and Wine. Mm-hmm. This was
Well, you've done the one up in Top of the World too, right?
no, never champagne.
No, that was.
Oh
a
no,
bourbon.
that's right. It was Food and Wine.
This was 12,000 times better.
We learned
Well,
a
it's-
lot more.
Yeah, I was gonna say the ones you do on the cruise are incredibly informative.
I mean, we learned about the houses and how they came about, and it was just a lot more interesting to me. So we really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this one. I know Tim did
So
too.
did I.
Well, it's champagne.
Yes.
And I was looking at all the empty seats that had champagne still in them. I was like, can we just grab those glasses?
Did they let you?
No,
Because they were too
Oh.
far away. If we were sitting closer to an empty one, I don't think they would have stopped us.
Because when we were doing the tequila tasting, there was a couple of empty seats next to us, and Denton was like, "You can have those if you want them."
Well, yeah,
Oh, no,
because when we
Denton
did
don't care.
Yeah, when we did the mixology class, Denton was like, "Yeah, go ahead."
The mixology class I will never do again now.
Yeah.
That was too much alcohol in one shot.
Well, it's also like too many different kinds of alcohol. I definitely would
yeah.
prefer to stick to the rum or tequila or one of those tastings where you taste one kind of alcohol rather than
Right.
all of these different kinds of alcohol and trying to mix them all together.
I think after this, we had a little bit of time to go back to our cabins, set up some stuff, and then we had to go to our mustard stations.
Well, we got a road soda.
Yes, from our cabin.
A road soda?
Yes.
A road soda.
I don't think that actually means soda.
You are correct,
Doesn't
sir.
mean soda. So by the time we got to our mustard station, we were lit.
Yes.
Surprise,
you guys are just Miami Mafia-ing all over
Yes,
the
of
place.
course.
Oh yeah.
So we did our road soda, then we went on deck, we saw the sail away party, which actually left on time.
Okay.
It did.
I'm not familiar with that.
There's a shock.
Although somehow we still missed. I wanted to catch us going under the bridge, because when you sail out of Vancouver, you pass under. I forgot what the name of the bridge is. I wanted to catch that, but we were just having too much fun, and we got more drinks. Surprise, surprise.
We got the
Like these-
drink of the day in the special cup, which is, there's a picture of it with the 4 drinks lined up. It was the striped
It's like a
drink.
frozen pina colada.
It was good.
You know what? Still not bad
good.
for what, $5 or $6?
No, it was actually pretty tasty.
It was pretty. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Honestly, that is the biggest bargain of the cruise is when you do those drink of the day because they don't go light on the alcohol.
No,
and
they
for
don't.
$5, you get and they're all good. Like I had Mai Tais.
They are
And
super
a-
sweet, though.
Oh yeah, they're sweet. They're all tropical drinks because you're on a cruise, even if you're in Canada.
If you drink enough of them, your blood sugar's higher than your alcohol content.
Oh yeah, especially that
It's-
one that was at the Yellowbird.
God,
That one
it
was,
was like-
really sweet.
Oh, see, I didn't have that. I had this
Yeah,
one.
it was bad.
It was,
It's like
it was something it was blue curacao, rum, and then it was also like some sort of like green color. It was super.
We had
sweet.
that one because it didn't.
No, it was creme de banana, blue curacao.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah. It was
really
the seasons. It was called seasons.
Yep.
It was
It was really sweet.
2 seasons.
I think that was the
I
picture
had
of me
one
in
of
the
them, and I was like,
Woos.
I need
it
something
was just like,
more bitter.
it's just one of the ones that make your teeth hurt. It was so sweet.
Yeah, it was very sweet.
And then shortly after that, we had dinner at Triton's.
Now this is the fancy.
Well, no, this is
It's
it's
really
not
fancy.
really
It's
fancy.
the
It's your
upscale- the
main
upscale place.
dining room.
It's one of the main dining
Yeah.
rooms.
Like Lumiere's.
It was.
How was it?
It was decent. It wasn't great. Like the food wasn't spectacular, but it was good.
I'll tell you what, the food on the Disney cruise it's edible. You're not gonna go hungry. You're gonna have a good time. You're not gonna be wowed by too much.
Correct.
Couple of things you're like, oh, that's really, really good. But you're not like, oh my god, that's the best thing I ever ate.
Well, that happens on our third
Well,
day.
Unless
that happens
until you
on
go
our
to the buffet.
It happens on no, or is it? It was our. Yeah, it was our third day. It was the glacier day. But I mean, second day, I don't think we did too much. It was just the sailing day.
You're at sea, going up the coast.
Well, we spent a lot of time on our verandas.
Yes. Well, no, there's not on the
Well-
second day. The second day was the day that you guys had that guy talk to you.
Oh, Jen and I went to the...
Yes, that you couldn't stay awake through. And I went through the art thing.
the whale watching.
So
had a-
up through. So your first day, you're sailing up to Dawes Glacier.
Well, the first full day is like the first full day. It's
You're at sea. You're
correct.
sailing up
Towards
the
I got
coast.
yelled at by Jen Mom.
Why? What'd you do?
Well, what happened was it got a little chilly when we were on the glacier. When we were heading to the
you're-
glacier. And
you're next to a glacier.
no, it gets
That day was cold.
it was a little
really
chilly out, so
I was gonna say you guys look bundled up.
it was like it was in the 50s in the morning. So I go out, I have a hoodie and I'm wearing a pair of shorts, and I find them on deck. Jen just, you're wearing shorts. Why are you wearing shorts? You should not be wearing shorts. And didn't even say good morning. Just
Well, it's 50. It's 50 degrees. That's not cold.
For Pennsylvanians, that's cold. I mean, that's warm.
yeah, that's like
Yeah, I
good
was gonna
temperature
say.
for Pennsylvania.
That's
I would totally rock shorts and a hoodie at 50 degrees.
See, so yeah, I got yelled at.
That's
a little bit.
springtime weather.
One of the things
And
that
I
Disney...
have the same climate as they do there in the Tennessees, but it just depends on how much time you spend outside the winter.
Yeah.
You know, you take advantage of them 50-degree days as long as you can down here.
yeah, right.
Adam talked about that naturalist that Jen and I went to go see. One of the things that Disney does that's kind of cool on the Alaskan cruises is they contact Alaskan Fish and Wildlife employees and rangers and naturalists, and they offer an exchange, a week on the boat for a week of talks. Mm-hmm. So this guy actually worked for Alaskan Fish and Wildlife, and he was a whale expert, and he came on board. Actually, when we got to Vancouver was his first day, and then he stayed for the whole week. And he gave a lecture on whales, on bears, and everything else that you're going to see in Alaska. And he's kind of boring because he's kind of like your 9th grade science teacher where he just kind of talks at you. But we did learn quite a bit. And it was good to know what to look for and how to know what we're looking at when we see it.
See, and while they did that, I did the art of the theme show tour. And this,
Okay, that talks about the back of the boat or backstage boat
it
stuff.
wasn't
or-
so much backstage boat stuff, but it was front of house boat stuff.
With Captain Dimples.
Oh.
Captain Dimples.
Oh God.
My. Hello, Thaler.
Are you sure this wasn't Love
It
Boat?
wasn't us.
No, it wasn't us. It was the girls.
Yeah, and we won't embarrass them by.
No, we won't embarrass them.
Right.
They don't listen anyway. But ask James and Jen
Wait,
about.
what?
You can ask James and Jen about Captain Dimples. I'm not.
No, the girls don't listen. Megan and Natasha
Yeah.
don't listen. They're too young.
Well, that's got to change. James, you need to do some parenting.
So,
I think he is by not.
Yes.
yes, I
Listen.
think that's the smart move there. So, what I did was the art of the show tour, and basically tells you in depth about the building of the boat, the ship, about the showpieces on the ship. So you were on this ship, so you know that in the foyer you have that big red light that's supposed to represent Ariel's flower behind her ear. During that.
Oh, is that what that's supposed to represent?
Well,
not the other flower?
But you see, the thing is, they had to send that chandelier back 3 times.
Did they really?
Yes,
Why?
because the problem was, when it was originally installed, it was giving off too much of a red glow. And they felt that it was either evil or too romantic for a Disney ship.
Roxanne.
Exactly. So they had to send that back. Also, if you ever notice on this ship, the 5th floor is the shortest floor. Well, you might not notice, Scott, but everybody else
lobby,
would.
Oh, he's still trying to touch the door jam, Adam.
They employ the same tactic they use on Main Street, the forced perspective for the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th deck.
So the 3rd floor is actually the largest deck, where the 4th floor is a little bit shorter, and the 5th
because
floor...
those are the ones that hit the foyer
Yeah.
when you walk in. Yeah, I get
It's
it.
also,
And
but
then
there's
kids-
another reason why. The 5th floor is the shortest floor, because that's where all the kids' decks are located.
Now,
So it feels
Now,
like
is that-
they're adult size on their level.
are there cabins on the 5th deck?
No.
There are no
Okay.
cabins on the 5th deck. But it's cool
I was going to
stuff.
say, because you're getting chipped out of room.
It's cool stuff. Like, I would definitely do that tour on the bigger ship, and I plan on doing that tour on the bigger ship come January, because I really found it interesting.
There's a lot of work that goes into these, and it's just not,
Mm-hmm.
civil engineering and building ships and stuff like that. There's actually, like Adam said, there's actually real, front of house stuff that goes into this, Imagineering that goes into it.
Well,
Pretty cool.
Did you say they told you how to tell where you are on the ship
Yes.
just by the carpet?
By the carpet in your staterooms.
Really?
Yes, they're
In the hallways.
In the hallways. Yay. There are actual stars in the carpets by your staterooms. The point of the star, they're 5-pointed stars. So the top point is always facing forward.
4.
Forward.
Word.
Yeah,
Forward.
4 on the boat is
Four
4
and a half.
Yeah, sure.
It points
Starboard
toward
port.
the
Also,
front of the boat.
If you ever notice, in the carpet itself, by each elevator, there's a special insignia. And you can tell, like, there's flowers, shells, and I'm forgetting one.
I don't remember that, but I mean, this is really cool because honestly, those first couple of days on the ship, you're like,
Yep.
okay, I'm gonna walk this way because I know that's aft. Oh wait, no, that's forward.
But now, if you look at those stars, you'll always know that that's the way you're going in.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
And we were in the forward section of the ship, so all we had to do was walk to our elevator, which is 10 feet away, and then go up to the adult section.
Awesome. That sounds like really fun. Adam, did that cost you anything
No.
to do that?
Most of the events and the tours and stuff, unless it concerns alcohol or consuming of, not even that. Most of the tours on the ship are
Free.
you already paid for. The
That's
movies
awesome.
you paid for, so you just sign up. You just show up at the time, which is what I did, and I went on the tour. It was pretty awesome. It was really cool. I
Very
definitely
cool.
recommend it. Rest of that day, then it was a formal night. So we drank.
Oh, this one you guys dressed all fancy.
This is when we got all pretty and we took all the pictures.
Irish James came out.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that outfit. I'm sorry, James. I'm gonna gush on this. I loved it, man. It was good.
It was also the
Well,
night.
James, you have arrived. You've impressed Scott with your style choice.
He looked like he was ready to go into an Irish bar and drink and then fight.
It was also the night we first played trivia.
Oh boy.
Back to the Future 2?
No. This was the Brainstormers trivia. We didn't win. We didn't come close to winning. But we made friends, so that was cool. And then we had the Golden Mickeys. And the Golden...
Was that an awards presentation?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
And it was really...
Yeah, it was one of the live stage shows.
It's one of the
Kinda
live...
cool.
Exactly. And what we ended up doing was we were actually interviewed on the red carpet.
Oh.
The actress who plays Tiana also plays the host of the Golden Mickeys. She's like some kind of famous actress. It was a lot of fun.
And we got interviewed, James, myself, and Tim. I got interviewed on the red carpet, and it was just a lot of fun. And the shows are really good. If you haven't seen them, take some time to see them. If you've seen them, you might not need to see some of them again, but they were really entertaining. At least we
They're
found
like
them
Broadway
entertaining.
quality.
Right.
And at this point, we all kind of just petered out at the end of the night and went back to the cabin, except for Tim, who had to go get pizza.
Oh, me and Jen both had to go get pizza.
There you go.
Disney ship pizza is worse than Walt Disney World pizza. It's horrible.
I wouldn't expect that to be good. It did
Now, did they have a shawarma station?
Of course they did.
And what do you think they had the next day? Shawarma.
For lunch.
Yeah.
But we didn't have... No, we had it that day. We didn't have shawarma the next day. Because the next day we had Palo brunch.
Oh, you guys finally got up to Palo?
Is this day 3?
Yeah.
Is this our day 3?
This is our...
It's Wednesday.
Yeah, this would be Wednesday.
This is
And...
the day we're pulling into Dawes Glacier.
Yes. So our original brunch reservation was for what, 12:30, I want to say?
So it was 12:30.
And they were ringing the phone off the hook trying to find us. Because they had earlier availability.
Well, we kept getting text messages from the girls, Natasha and Megan, that Paolo keeps calling the room. They're looking for you. They keep calling the room. I don't know what they want because for some reason they were staying in the cabin that whole day. She's like, all right, let's go up there and see what they want. It was like 10:30, I think it was.
What time is your reservation?
12:30.
Okay.
So we get up there and they're like, oh, we just had some early openings. We wanted to see if you guys wanted to sit early.
Oh,
Okay.
they're calling like incessantly. What are they answering? What's going on?
It's panicking. Like,
Don't
they're
you know
canceling
who
my
I am?
We had all these outfits planned for Palo, because it's kind of fancy, so we wanted to dress up a little.
It's
So
upscale.
here we are in like just cruise clothes, with t-shirts and shorts, and like we're like kind of underdressed. I'm like, nah, you're fine.
literally, this is the Ferris Bueller's moment. I'm the Sausage King of
That's
Chicago.
exactly what that was.
Because
Okay.
we walk in there and I feel so underdressed.
But
You bum!
the food
The food.
had to be some of the best food I've ever had on any cruise ship ever.
We've heard that.
Or almost anywhere.
Yeah, it was...
I was gonna say, what about off cruise? I mean, what is it? Is this good?
Oh, it was...
It probably blows 99.9% of the restaurants away in Walt Disney World.
It was... I mean, you walk in and...
You're not the first to say this.
You walk in and they seat you. For brunch, you get a free choice of a Bellini, a...
Bloody Mary.
No, you got to pay for the Bloody Mary.
Also, there's a Bellini, a mimosa, and something
else.
Screwdriver.
No, it wasn't a screwdriver.
No, it wasn't a screwdriver.
It was one of those...
No, it's going to be like a champagne cocktail.
Yeah, some sort of champagne cocktail. So they start you off with that, and they give you a menu.
Probably rosé. Rosé all day.
No, it's not a bottomless mimosa.
No.
No. The
No.
first one is free, then after that you gotta pay for it.
Oh, you fucker.
So they
Cold,
give you a
Mikey.
menu, and they let you look over the menu. And then they take the menu away, and you walk through the...
They give you a tour of the buffet.
Yes. Where your server actually takes you through the buffet. You walk through a cheese station, which has, 6 cheeses on it?
More than that.
What?
It was more than that. They had
What do you think of me?
Oh, I did, because they had literally a half a wheel of Parmesan sitting there.
Can you just take the wheel?
I wanted to.
Jesus, take
I
the wheel.
wanted to.
They had a truffle cheese.
It was a truffle pecorino.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't have made it past the cheese. I wouldn't have made it past. I'd have been like, it's
barely
been a
did.
rough day for me, kids.
I'm literally getting the chills as we speak.
I barely made it past the cheese.
Man, I'm getting the runs.
Then they had a seafood station with smoked lox salmon, caviar with pedophores, and all the toppings for the caviar. It is just...
There's an antipasta station with salami and
Keep talking, Adam. Keep talking, Adam.
It was octopus salad. It's just
Yes. Yes, tell me
went
more.
crazy over
You're
there.
going to
for
need
a
the
little
Shia
bit.
LaBeouf towel.
The next station over behind that was like an antipasto station with all like aged salamis and it's
Chorizo and prosciutto.
they had the
and-
strawberry
Give it to me.
soup.
Give it to me.
Then they had like a little bread station with all different kinds of crusty breads. It was just
It's a 50-foot long charcuterie board.
pretty much,
Pretty much.
pretty much.
That's
you
my
could,
favorite
you
kind
could
of
just have your
charcuterie
whole
board.
meal on the buffet, but wait, there's more.
Because you get back down, you eat your first course,
And
is what
behind
I
door
would
number
call it.
2.
And behind door number 2 is this menu that they bring back.
Yeah, he literally told us that our server came back and was like, "Are you ready for me to bring the menu back?"
I'm sorry, the what? We're still eating?
Yeah,
There's more?
and Tim's like, nom, nom, nom.
Yeah. Like, oh, I thought the buffet was it.
And I'm like, yes, please, bring me back the menu.
You mean there's more reading on this?
What?
At which point, I had the chicken parm. Tim,
Which the top two recommendations they made was the chicken parm and the lasagna. And of
This
course,
does
I
not
had to
sound
get
like a brunch.
oh, I don't.
Yeah.
Oh no!
You-
Well,
I've
we didn't
never
eat
had-
anything
I've never
almost
had
for the
chicken
rest of
parm
the
for
day.
brunch.
So I had the chicken parm. I forgot what Jen and James got. They actually got brunch food.
James had eggs Benedict, I think.
Yes, I think you're right.
Yes. That's okay, that's brunch food. Chicken
Yeah.
parm.
It was
Not so
good.
much.
They didn't call it chicken parm, but that's what it was.
I mean,
And I lied. We did have something to eat after this.
Yes, we did. We didn't stop
Shawarma?
eating. I gained weight this cruise for sure.
More shawarma?
I mean, I
No,
know
no.
how great, like on the last cruise, we all thought the Eggs Benedicts were at Cabanas during breakfast.
This was out of it.
This was a whole different...
He was
Yeah.
let me put it to you this way. James was able to order his eggs in the exact detail that he wanted, and they came back and made sure that they were the exact way he wanted.
I wouldn't know the difference because my experience with Eggs Benedict have both been on vacation buffet lines.
Fair enough.
So,
But he wanted them a very specific way, and that's how he got them.
made with quails.
No, it was just
quail
he
egg,
likes them
right?
very, very soft boiled.
He is an egg...
Egg
aficionado.
aficionado.
Yeah,
I see what you did there, Adam.
Thank you.
he does like his eggs a certain way, and he will make he double cooks his eggs when he cooks them at home. He cooks them on top of the stove and then puts them in the oven.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
So the eggs you had, well, if he made you an omelet at Bay
did.
Lake, they were cooked on the stove and then put in the oven.
They were tasty.
They
They were extravagant.
They were exactly the way that he wanted them to be. So if anybody out there is ever with James and they're serving eggs, have him order for you. You will not be
They
disappointed.
would be excellent.
They will be.
And Scott just keeps shaking his head now at me.
Yeah, he says I would expect this from Tim, Adam, but not you.
I'm hungry. No, I expect it from Adam. I'm hungry.
Oh wait, but we didn't finish
Yeah. I mean, you've only gotten through the charcuterie and
the main
chicken
course. But
parm.
what's a meal without dessert?
It's brunch. Oh God!
Wait, I'll wait for Tim to get back.
For those of you that can't hear Tim in the background, there's a Nutella station.
Talking about pile of dessert now.
Yes. So there's.
Let me take a moment because I'm gonna tell people right now the
I'm gonna
smile
need a
on
moment,
Tim's
too.
face. The smile on Tim's face when he just said, "Are we talking about pile of dessert?" Is that to rival of like a 13-year-old girl just getting like candy?
A horse.
Okay.
For,
Or
a
a 13-year-old
birthday.
boy finding himself.
Or that. There you go. That too.
Well,
I wanted to go a little more PC. Tim did.
We don't do PC. They had, I call it the Nutella station because almost every dessert had Nutella. in it.
No.
They had the Nutella cream puffs, they had the Nutella sticks, the Nutella pudding.
Yes, but they also had the champagne jelly fruit
champagne
cup.
jelly. I mean, there was more desserts than but I focused on the Nutella.
Yes.
Shit. I was all focused on the Nutella.
I had those.
I can see Tim up here, and it looks like fucking supermarket.
It was me and Jen.
He
Me and
just
Jen
grab
were
it
like,
and throw it in his buggy.
give us the Nutella.
But they had the champagne jelly fruit. I ate a lot of dessert.
It's not really a dessert if it's before
Yeah,
noon.
but the problem was, like,
It could be.
the next day, I tried to put on a pair of shorts that I brought, and I couldn't close them.
No, the other jeans.
There was a pair of jeans and a pair of shorts I couldn't wear because I couldn't
Well,
close them.
you ate the 50-foot charcuterie board.
Well, it gets better than that because right after brunch, we went back to our cabins because we're getting
And
close
passed
to
out
the
from a
glacier.
food coma?
Nope.
Road soda.
We had road sodas, and we're watching all along. When you're going into the Dawes Glacier, there's land on both sides of you because you're
Yeah.
in this channel.
You're in a channel.
So there's a lot to see. So we got the binoculars out, the cameras out. A lot of the pictures that we took came from this passage with seals and a couple of whales. And somebody decides they want soda. So James tells the girls to order room service, and we can't just have soda when you order room service, so we ordered food.
Of course not. That burger,
No, well,
Reuben.
No,
Yeah.
hot dogs, french fries.
I mean,
Yeah.
you also have to realize when you go through the Dawes Glacier, you start going through this channel. I think it started at 12:30.
No, we were late, so it was 1:30.
It was 1:30, and we didn't finish going through the channel till about 4:30.
Yeah, we got to the glacier at 4:30.
So you're talking about a good 3 hours, and this is why that veranda is so important, especially on this cruise, because everybody's on deck and they're running back and forth, and it's super crowded. That veranda is your private spot to sit there and just look out, and this is one of those situations where I would say choose a lower veranda level. Because that's going to get you closer to the icebergs. It's going to get you closer to the ice melt. It's going to get you closer to those animals that you want to see.
Yeah. And we watched them go iceberg fishing.
Because they actually try to bring an iceberg on the deck. So that you can actually
What?
say...
Yeah, they had this little... It looked like you ever see Deadliest Catch? Well, they
Yes.
have the little basket that they throw out to
Yeah.
a man overboard. It was that basket. But they dip it in the water and they catch an iceberg, a little iceberg, and they bring it on deck for you to touch and feel and see. And you can
It's
play with
ice.
10,000-year-old ice.
I feel like that's somehow illegal. Like
Why
I just
would
feel
that
like
be
with all
illegal?
the regulations. Well, because you have to have permits to bring anything out of the water, and icebergs are like.
I'm sure
I
it's
just-
Disney. I'm sure they do.
it feels like somewhere.
It's
that, yeah, you
Alaska.
gotta have
there
some
are
type
no
of-
rules up there.
There's
Well,
a
there
lot
are.
of ice.
There are a lot of rules.
It's not...
There are a lot of rules.
It's not like they're fishing wildlife.
And we'll get to that.
Yeah, well, there could be things on that ice. Like if that's like an ice from like a 1,000,000-year-old glacier you just chunked out of the water. There could be dino DNA.
Well, that could be in any of it, though.
Well, it's going to melt within
Yeah.
an hour of breaking off the iceberg anyway.
You're harshing on my mellow here. I'm trying to be a little. I'm trying to
Well, you also have
save
to
the
realize
environment. I
that-
couldn't buy an Eco-Teeny, so this is.
You also have to realize this became a whole big, like, the whole side of our boat at this point is watching them try to
Yeah.
fish this iceberg out. We have stopped
And when they vanished
watching
the
what's
whole-
going on, and now it's become, like, this whole, like, expedition iceberg.
Like we booed when they missed one, and then when they finally caught one, the whole side of the boat clapped and screamed. It was a sight.
Did you get to fondle the?
We did
frigid-
not.
Not there.
They were on their
that's a
veranda,
shame.
Mikey.
And we kind of forgot to leave our veranda once they brought.
Well,
the
yeah.
iceberg
Once
on
the,
deck.
once the food showed up, Tim's like, "I got my hot dog."
I got my french fries, because James doesn't really like french fries, so I ate his.
Now, did you guys have conjoined?
Yes.
Well, so here's the thing. When we booked the cruise on our Bermuda cruise, we asked for adjoining balconies.
And,
You had a little bit of a divide.
yeah.
Well, yeah, because the way the ship is, I mean, if you look at the picture of the ship, I showed you we circled the thing. There's like 4 rooms, and then there's a bulkhead, and there's 4 rooms. So we were on the last room of the front bulkhead, and then James and Jen and the girls were on the first room. So our rooms adjoined. We had inside doors that we would open once we were awake, but our balconies did not.
And I mean,
Well, that way you can do some bay laking.
yeah, it wasn't awful. And even because we actually booked our next cruise on the ship, we actually had a discussion with the lady who helped us with it, and she actually said that she never promises it on the smaller ships because it's harder to figure out where those actual full walls are.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bulkheads.
Yeah, so it was just a mistake.
And it worked out. I think it worked out better this way.
No,
'cause
we had
were
a
able to
blast.
go in room to room, and
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun.
So
Cool.
The boat stopped. The ship stopped. We were able to get some great pictures of the actual. I get everything.
Dawes Glacier.
The glacier, which was beautiful,
Look, it was supposed to do a 360.
but it didn't because we had some
Because I think we
sort
were
of
running
fucking
late.
filming crew on the fucking boat.
Yeah, they were doing fairy tale weddings.
weddings was being filmed while we were on this.
So somebody got married at the Dawes Glacier.
Bastage. Just so
So they only did-
Yeah.
Yeah. So they only turned one side so that the Palo side can get the view of the glacier, and then we took off.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't awful because we got good pictures. That's all I really cared about.
It's a hell of a maneuver.
It's a maneuver. Well, it's because of all the thrusters that they have.
Right. They can eat. Yeah.
It's really
And it's a
super
shorter
easy.
ship, so they can.
Oh, and we ate at Anomalies Pilot for the next 2 nights.
Yeah, boring.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
It's
This restaurant is so hit or
I
miss.
like
one
it,
night it can be
but
really
it's my
good.
least favorite.
Yeah.
It just
the other
is.
night it can be really bad. Karaoke's was my least favorite.
We didn't have karaoke's.
No, you guys had the Tangled restaurant.
No.
'Cause they had changed it over by the time.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't have karaoke's. Thursday was our first day we got off the boat. No, that can't be right.
No, it's, yeah,
No.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It was only 3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because Skagway. Skagway was the first time we got
Skagway
off
was the first day we got off the boat.
We went ziplining.
Yes.
I want to hear about the zip lining.
It was
Amazing.
so much fun.
I know when I visited the Goodmans last year, and they took us to the Chattanooga or to the Smoky Mountains up in Chattanooga there, and we did zip lining through the Smoky Mountains at Anacostia.
Oh no, we forgot.
Uh,
We forgot something. I'm sorry. We have to go back a day.
Oh.
We
Okay.
forgot about the frozen
Gotta go
party,
back.
I was going to say, the Frozen
Oh,
Deck Party.
which was a hot
That was when it was really cold.
mess. Because by the time this happened, we were drunk.
Yeah.
A lot of road sodas.
Oh, there was
lot
a
of road
road
sodas.
soda. It was
A lot of portholes.
portholes, hot
Blends.
hot chocolate with alcohol in it.
Hot chocolate Baileys.
This was a hot mess. James actually got a Iron Man,
Iron Man bubble thing.
and he
To
was
be
shooting
fair-
at us.
To be fair, this is
I
the only way you
saw-
can enjoy Frozen.
No, but we had. I honestly, and this is our. At least this is the way I look at it. This was my mistake last cruise, where I kind of was a little bit held back and reserved myself during like the pirate party. And I granted I wasn't feeling 100%,
None of us were.
A rough cruise.
but
Literally a rough
but
cruise.
I made sure I had a good viewing spot, and to watch the
We
fireworks.
were down on the dance floor.
We didn't dance. We just kind of hung up in that spot.
Oh, we-
This time
Were you up with? You were up there with us and
Yes.
Cheryl, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember, Adam, we were figuring out the tech behind
yes,
the
because
fireworks.
that's the nerd that Mikey and I are. But to sit there on that dance floor and to have fun and just get into that party was a hell of a lot more fun than trying to figure out tech.
You should go to the Edison sometime. It's a lot like that.
What's the Edison?
I mean, we were wrapped in deck blankets and scarves and hats.
Dancing. Me and Jen made
Jen-
it on the video because of our shirts that Jen made for us.
Jen had made us some shirts. Frozen Deck Party shirts.
And we were dancing. It was ridiculous.
It was a lot of fun.
But I would definitely say participate in those parties even if you're an adult. That's why you go on a Disney cruise anyway.
Yeah.
Kids can't pay for it, so
Exactly.
enjoy it.
Have fun with it. You embarrass your kids. Oh well, they'll be in the teen room
Oh,
anyway.
that's always my goal when I take my kids. On
Oh, yeah.
vacation.
Well, listen, we got yelled at a few times by Mom Megan.
Yes, Mom Megan gave us the stink
Mom
eye.
Megan?
Mom Megan.
Mom Megan.
Mom Megan.
She's a little old lady trapped in a teenager body.
Yeah, she's awesome,
She is.
though.
She's awesome. She's a really good kid.
I mean, she mommed my kids when we visit, you know. So yeah, she's good.
But we'll get back to the zip lining now, which was the tour guides did so well.
Yeah.
I mean, we had one girl who is petrified of heights and just wasn't going to do it, and she hit every trail.
But yeah, by halfway through, she wanted to be the first one on the zip line.
Yeah. I was upside down.
Yeah.
Holy,
Yep.
yep.
Like, just hanging.
James went upside down.
James went upside down,
did he?
yep.
Yeah.
It was just...
Did Jennifer do it?
Jennifer said, fuck
No,
you.
Jennifer. They didn't go ziplining with us. The girls went and did a
Nature
train
hike.
tour and a nature hike.
Nature hike.
Which
Yeah,
they,
she also didn't zip line with us when we were in the
they,
Smoky
they actually had to
Mountains.
bring their passports because they hiked back to Canada.
The train went through
Which
back
was
to
weird
Canada.
enough.
Okay.
That part of Alaska, Skagway, is literally, I think the border was like 30 miles away. So the train brought him to Canada, and then they hiked back across the border a little bit, and then the train brought him back, I think. But it was a little weird.
I mean, the phrase "hike across."
No,
the
they
border.
didn't hike across the border. The train went across the border.
Oh, okay.
The train
Okay,
went
I'm
across the
thinking,
border, and then
man,
on the way back, it went across the border again.
that's some Red Dawn level shit right there.
And then, but at the end of the zip lining, we actually had glacier water. It was water straight from the glacier, which was kind of
Straight from the glacier.
How'd it
So
taste?
like water.
We had it for free in Alaska, and Victoria and Albert's charges $120 a glass.
That's
for that
right.
shit.
So there you go.
They do.
It was
Well,
really
I mean,
good.
you did have to go on the cruise.
Well, yeah. But it's not $1,200 for that glass of water.
Seriously. After which, we all met back at the first brewery we went to.
Well, we had a beer at the gift shop at the zipline
Correct.
place.
This is the beer day, because this is all we drank pretty much was
Oh, it was
beer.
beer.
Oof.
It was a mistake.
A very big mistake.
Because we went from that...
Beer, I don't know. Beer, to me, like, I can't drink as much beer as I used to when I
Well,
was
Me
younger.
either. Me either.
Nope. I can't drink as much of it as when we first started recording.
No,
when
no.
I know.
Me
we were
either.
down.
I think
Now
it's
it's
because, like, with whiskey, you don't get carbonation.
Bloated,
You don't
yeah.
get that
we were
bloaty
feeling
feeling.
Yeah, we'll wait, because we went to the first brewery, and we had...
Skagway,
which one?
right? Skagway Brewing.
Yeah, Skagway Brewing. And we each got a flight.
Well, yeah.
This is what you do.
You gotta have a flight.
as
And we had
one does.
cheesesteaks. I had a cheesesteak.
Yeah. I had a cheesesteak.
Oh.
Almost all of us had cheesesteaks.
It was good.
Well, a funny thing, like most of the breweries in Alaska brew what is called spruce tip beer.
Yeah,
Okay.
you mentioned that.
They'll cut the tips off of a new growth of a spruce tree.
Does a
And-
moil do it?
Yes.
Yeah,
As a matter of fact.
Well,
there's a
the
whole
Alaskan
ceremony.
boil.
Oh, here
well
comes Jewish
done.
grandma.
Well done.
here comes Edith or Esther, whatever her name was. So, a fun fact though, back in the gold rush days, when the sailors and the gold miners would come, they'd have scurvy. So
Of course.
the Alaskan natives would brew this beer because
Well, tea.
spruce tips are
They
high in
wouldn't brew
vitamin
the
C.
beer, yeah. They would brew the tea.
Oh, it was tea. I don't think it was
they-
tea. I think it was
They didn't have Lewis making
Yeah.
them their screwdrivers
Exactly.
in the morning time.
So then, after that, the girls went shopping. We went to another brewery
No.
and got another flight of all their beers,
Yeah.
which is
All?
5.
which was another 5
Okay.
beers. And then
Which was that one? The Alaskan? No, that wasn't
I
Alaskan.
couldn't
What was that?
tell you. By this point, all I felt was like a hot, gaseous mess.
Yeah.
One? So we just wanted to go back onto the boat and just die.
Did you say a hot gaseous mess?
Yes.
Yeah, like, like a
Jupiter.
red dwarf.
Yes, like,
Yeah.
because that was the smells that were coming out of all of us at this point. Between the cheesesteak and all the carbonation from the beer, every 3 steps, one of us
That was at Klondike.
Klondike, yes.
Klondike.
One of us was
Smells
either
like Pine Sol and Booty Hole.
one of us was burping, farting. So it was coming out every which way.
There was a lot of
At the
crop
pores.
dusting. A lot of crop dusting.
It was bad. It was a bad time. I wouldn't want to be behind us walking down that area. I mean, there's lucky there's any vegetation left on all of Skagway at this point.
In other words, this would be Ethan's favorite day.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Oh, this was disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you should have done this before the zip line, and you could have gotten across.
Oh, we would have been launched. Forget about that.
Could've launched.
Propelled, man.
They wouldn't have
I
let
would
us
hit
on
the
the
tree a
zip
lot
line.
harder than I did.
It would have been like watching Chevy Chase go down the hill in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You start off normal and just go.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, see, I was thinking Biff Tannen when he puts the hoverboard power on.
Hoverboards don't walk on water.
Got to have power. Back to the Future.
Carry
2.
on, guys.
Yeah.
That is
That
now the
lost us the
second
trivia.
Back to the Future reference this,
Yeah.
this episode.
Nope.
We just can't seem to shake it.
Well, if you would have remembered Back to the Future 2,
That was me.
you
I
would
was
have
with
served
that.
your purpose.
We
We'd
would
have
have
aced it. We'd have
We would've
fucking
won a hat.
aced it. We'd have aced it. And we could have all got like a keychain.
Yeah, but we got crap because Tim talked Mikey out of giving the right answer.
No, I wasn't the one writing them down. No one can read my chicken scratch.
Good boy.
No, but I was the one that I insisted that it was.
Yes.
Oh, you did.
Yeah. And you listened to me, unfortunately.
Hurry up. Keep moving. Keep
right.
moving. I'm getting angry here.
So Skagway,
Yep.
finished up in Skagway, get back to the boat.
We skipped the show again, ate dinner at Tiana's place.
How was that?
Amazing.
Oh my god, awesome.
The characters looked like you had a lot of fun.
The characters were awesome. They have a band called, when we were on it, they were called the Brace Boys.
So that's a
No.
rotational kind of thing, I
They
guess.
were
then?
they were the Brace Boys when they joined Bongi at Cadillac. They were something else.
I don't remember what they were called then.
Okay, now I'm confused.
They were
I'll
the
just be quiet.
Bayou something.
But,
or
I mean,
other.
if you were to find them on Facebook, they're called the Brace Boys.
Brace
If you
Boys.
look them up on iTunes, they're called the Brace Boys.
Was it like a Zydeco type of music?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
Hey guys, they cover R. Kelly's Ignition.
yes, it's actually
Cover
really good.
everything.
Is it
yeah.
the remix to Ignition,
Yes.
hot and fresh
Yeah.
out the
Oh, yeah.
kitchen?
We'll get to that. We'll
Got
get
me
to that.
rolling. Okay.
Look them up on YouTube. They cover R. Kelly.
They are awesome.
They're on Spotify.
Amazing.
Do they cover?
But
do they
this
do
was the
OPP?
And Scott, they're British.
Yes, they are British.
Well, with a name
Limeys.
like the Brace Boys, yeah, I would imagine so.
So
What's a brace, Scott?
Suspenders.
So they play ska.
Are you getting any more drunk?
They
No, they don't play ska.
don't play
Not
Scott.
really. It's more like
It's
It's jazz. It's swing.
it's jazz.
It has nothing to. It's not ska at all. It's swing.
It's as a bass player, a saxophone player, and the other guy sits on one of those wooden
The
boxes.
box
yeah.
and sings.
It's called a cajon.
What you called me?
What'd you call me?
you know what it
A
reminds me of.
jabroni. It's a cajon. It's called. I know things.
You know
That's
what
I
it-
do. I drink and I know things.
You know what it kind of reminds me of?
Thank you,
Go.
Tyrion.
Postmodern jukebox a
No.
little bit.
Postmodern jukebox.
Less
The reason why I
less
can't-
instruments.
It's a lot less instruments. It's only 3 guys. And
Yeah, but
the
they do
production
like
level
a-
on Postmodern Jukebox is something totally different than
Well,
this.
obviously.
Maybe it's like a postmodern 8-track.
Yes.
there you go.
And with Postmodern Jukebox, they're more of a they don't do any of their own material, whereas they actually the Brace
Oh,
Boys
okay.
actually do have songs that they wrote themselves.
I do have to thank you two for the PMJ.
Love them. They are
Yeah,
amazing.
that's-
but,
Honestly, it's
I mean,
it's on my
Well,
Spotify
I'm not-
rotation all
I'm
the
not
time
getting
now.
any of this love. I'm not getting any of the love from Scott on PMJ. And it
No,
hurts.
because Tim and Adam came here and they're like, check this out, and I was like, oh yeah, this is
Mikey
pretty
was
cool.
too. Mikey's all about the PMJ too.
yes, but
I didn't know that, though.
I've been a subscriber since it was called Scott Bradley Loves Ya on his YouTube channel before it got changed to Postmodern Jukebox. I'm not saying that I'm a hipster,
but
No,
you're
you
a
just did.
hipster.
but fucking listen, when it comes
I
to
knew
YouTube
this
channels
before
that,
it was
that were
popular.
like nobody, and then they blew up, I was there. I was there at the beginning, okay?
Hey,
So,
hey, you know what? Go put your beanie hat on and your flannel.
There you go.
You've already got the half-rim glasses.
The 7-day cruise just turned into Gilligan's Island, so
It did.
we gotta move on.
Well,
It did.
I'm your ginger there.
There you go.
I'm Marianne.
Oh, yep.
I don't know what I was talking about. This was the first night we went to the Cadillac Lounge at night, though. And hung out with Bungie, I want to say. It was either that or Wednesday night. This is one of those nights where everything kind of got sketchy.
Yeah. Yeah, it took us a while to make it over to
It
Cadillac
got
Lounge for the
sketchy.
night.
It got a little blurry.
A lot blurry. More than a little.
The
got a
first
little
2 nights, the
cursive.
first couple nights, we were fighting the time change.
Notice I didn't say fuzzy.
Because not only were we 3 hours behind when we got to Vancouver, but mid cruise we went
Let's
back
tack on
another
another hour because, we're not fucked up enough yet.
Yeah, why not?
And
Throw it
and
on.
it's
I'll be right back.
at like 11 o'clock at night. It's just barely getting dark.
No, it never gets dark. It
Oh, you
never gets dark.
You never actually got full dark.
It gets
It-
dim.
no, it's perpetual sunset until 3:30. So 10:30 is when the full sunset happens, and then the sun is still kind of there, and then 3:30 the fucking sun decides I'm awake again.
Yeah.
That's the
Really?
beauty of those lower deck bars, though. There's no outside windows at all, so you can just
They
go
got-
down
they
there
got portholes.
and feel like it's dark until you go back to your room and you pass a porthole and you're like, "What the hell's happening? It's only 8:30."
Well, luckily, like with all the rooms that have outside portholes and windows, you have the curtain that goes over the portal, and then you have the curtain that separates the couch area from the bed area. I don't want to say the rooms because have you ever been on a cruise?
Yeah.
It's not a room so much as a big
I
closet.
mean,
Yeah,
I
it's a
haven't
giant
been on
closet.
one with a larger room like that. Mine was pitch ass black. I mean, once that door closed and the power went off on our last, we had no windows. It was, nope. It was stubbing your toe every time you had to go take a leak.
Yeah.
I wish, but I love the veranda because when you do the Alaskan Cruise, you gotta get a veranda because there's so much to see.
Oh yeah,
It's
no,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
definitely.
do it any other way. I gotta look at because Alaska's like my bucket list.
So
I have to see all of the things. I want to see the marine life. I want to see the aviary life.
one
I
thing
want
we
to know.
didn't say the first morning
Glossy out.
after we left on Monday, Tuesday morning, I got up at I want to say ass crack of dawn, but it was never really dawn. So I got up at like 5 o'clock.
Like the elbow of dawn.
Yeah. So I took a shower
Like
and I got
behind the
dressed and I
knee
got out
area
on
of dawn.
my veranda. Everybody else was still sleeping, and I'm watching all the wildlife. I'm watching whales, and there's a pod of dolphins that were jumping in the wake of the boat. And then Jen gets up, and Jen comes out to her balcony, and she's like, "You see anything yet?" And I was like, "Oh my god, I saw so much." She's like, "Well, why did you wake me up?"
No,
I'm
you
like,
sent a
"It's-
text message using the ship's navigator, which
yeah.
is the worst
I was like,
app I've ever used. You think freaking...
So it hasn't improved.
No, it got
No,
worse.
it
if
got
anything.
worse. It got worse.
It
I'm
doesn't
hoping
let
they
you
work
know
it out
you got
with
a
the-
message unless you have it open.
Yes,
Yeah.
and on the message screen now. So you can have the app open, and if you're not on the message screen, the message doesn't come through.
Yeah.
Of course it doesn't. Why would it need to?
Now, have they gone over to where iMessage is free?
On the bigger ships, and they're testing it right now. So
They're testing it right now. So
Still ongoing.
yes.
All right. So after your day in Skagway, you get back on the boat. You head up to Juneau,
Yes. And Juneau's where
Capital.
we went.
the capital of Alaska.
We went whale watching.
which
That's awesome.
there's only 3 ways to get into Juneau.
Land, air, and sea.
Nope.
Nope. By boat,
I'm
by
there.
boat, by plane, or by
dog
birth
sled.
canal.
Wait, what? Oh,
canal.
okay.
That joke was told about 20 million times the whole time we were in Juneau.
There are actually no roads that lead to Juneau.
There are no roads that lead to Juneau. Because it's surrounded on 3 sides by mountains and then 1 side by sea.
Well, that's a hell of a place to have a capital.
That's exactly what I was going to ask. Scott. Who the hell figured that?
They
what
told
kind
us
of Inuit
why-
thought that was a good idea?
They told us why they decided to pick that as a capital, but for the life of me, I can't remember right now.
And they,
Well, that would be relevant if you could.
Google it.
I do want to say there's
Okay,
been
Tim's too deep in the porthole.
multiple fights in Alaska about trying to change the capital. Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
due to the cost, it's never going to happen.
Yeah, well,
Wait,
that William.
How much does it cost to change the capital? I mean, what is it? You reprint some quarters?
Well, it's all the legislation that goes along with it, or the state.
And the legislators don't want to move away from Juneau, so.
Well,
Yeah, because they're already there. They can't get out.
That's right. They've already. There's only 2 ways out for them
It
now.
was something to do with the gold rush and everything, and I don't remember the exact story, but
And there's literally one highway in Juneau. Is 40 miles long, and it's dead end on both ends.
Jesus.
That
William Seward guy was really fucked up.
not a good place to commit a felony.
No.
The Juneau.
But I want to say this is probably my favorite port of the trip. Was Juneau.
So did you guys do anything in Juneau, or did you stay on the boat?
yeah, we're
We did
watching.
everything in Juneau.
Oh yeah. I mean, in
So you
the
stayed
city.
on a boat.
First, we went to the Mendenhall Glacier.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is amazing to look at, and we ran into that army.
We ran
veteran.
into, well, he was a U.S. Coast Guard veteran. He was stationed in Juneau in 1972. And him and his wife, this was the first year they've been back since they were stationed there in 1972. And he brought photos with him. And he's showing us the photos of what the glacier used to look like back in 1972.
and how far it was out compared to what it is now due to all the melting.
Right. And he was a scientist for the U.S. Coast Guard, but he was specialized in, I think he was specialized in the ice, in the polar ice cap, because he's been to both poles.
Whoa.
And when he got to the South Pole, he stood at the South Pole with his compass, and everywhere he pointed, the compass stayed north. And then he said he took 3 steps out and walked around, and then he saw his compass move, and he's like, I could literally say I walked around the world. The guy was amazing.
Technically, he did.
So,
And he was just so smart. He told us about how they used to dive under the glaciers to see, and, you know, we're kind of spoiled now when you think of a wetsuit and a dry suit and insulated suits. All they did is they slapped on 2 regular dive suits.
wetsuits, yep.
And that's what they did, and that's what they went under, and it was just amazing talking with this gentleman.
Now, was he just a guest on the Disney
No,
cruise?
No.
was a guest
He wasn't
on
even
a
on our
different
cruise.
ship altogether.
He was on a different ship altogether.
Okay, that's a damn shame because he's the guy you want to meet at the Cadillac Lounge tonight
Buy him a drink.
for drinks and stories. A lot of stories, probably a lot of drinks, but a lot of stories.
It was just awesome.
They were celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary on this cruise. They had a 2-week cruise on
Yeah.
maybe
Norwegian.
the Princess. Yeah, one of the Princess. Something.
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
They went all the way up to the Bering Sea, I wanted to say.
Yeah, they were going from Seattle all the way up to the Bering.
That's a lot of that gets you ready for living in one of their tiny houses.
I couldn't.
But if you saw the pictures that we posted of what the Mendenhall Glacier looks like now, when they went, the ice was all the way up to where we were standing at the visitor center.
That's amazing.
That's disappointing because you got to figure the folks working there realize they're out of a job. Like they can watch themselves
Well,
slowly get put out
I
of
mean-
a job when that thing recedes.
No, it's not receding that much. I mean, it is receding, but it's taking decades, and they're not too sure if it's cyclical or what exactly is going on at this point. But they know part of it is caused due to global warming, but part of it is a cyclical thing where it does happen where these do recede, and then the next ice age they will expand and grow again.
Well, yeah, but they're going to be closed, I imagine, the next ice age.
Not where the visitor
we all
center's
will be.
built. The visitor center's always been built off the ice. And when you really...
But an ice age.
The next ice age, I think, will all be.
The visitor center.
I'm going to...
I will say, looking at the picture of the visitor center that you guys took, it looks like an evil Bond villain.
Oh yeah,
It
without
does.
a doubt. It was
It
built
really
in
does.
it was built in the 70s. So I mean,
Oh yeah, it's got this
And
like big glass.
that's where we
front.
got to touch 200-year-old ice.
yeah, that's where we touched the glacier. But
But did you taste 200-year-old ice?
yes, we tasted
we
it
did
at the zip
It was
lining.
water, yeah.
And it wasn't $1,200 a bottle.
My tongue got stuck to it. I'm teasing.
I double dog dare you.
But I mean, it's just fat. I mean, it's normal. It recedes. It grows back. I mean,
My hair doesn't.
no. Once that recedes, it's done forever. But
So after hanging out in Juneau, what'd you guys do for that evening?
We went to the clam bake.
well, first we went
Not
whale
clam bake,
watching.
salmon bake.
No, salmon bake was on a different day, I think.
No, same thing. It was the whale watching.
So the whale watching, and then we went on a boat, which was one of the best experiences I've had.
Yeah.
Thinking about, like, especially with the way Disney did it, and the Disney, who they partner with. Because when we went whale watching, there was at one point, there was like, almost, I want to say 8 or 9 boats just focusing on this one whale. The captain that we had at that point said, "This is not right," and took off and said, we're going to go off and we're going to go find
a new whale
and find something else, because this is not right for this particular animal to be like just be focused on all these little boats,
Like a dancing monkey.
exactly.
Yeah.
Sure enough, we go off. We have this one whale just sitting on top of the water, just hanging out. We're the only boat out there, and I mean that's where I have to give a lot of credit to Disney and how they hire their shore excursion teams, because all these shore excursions, especially when it comes to whale watching, they guarantee that you're going to see at least one whale, or they're going to give you money back. So all these boats were focused on this one poor whale. Well, we went and we had some of the best encounters because we went off the beaten trail and because we did the right thing.
That's pretty cool. That
And we saw a whale that they know. I mean, a whale that they were able to identify as a known whale in that area. His name was Sasha.
Yes.
And they could tell by the patterns on the
No,
flute,
she has a fin. There's something wrong with her
and there's a
fin.
notch in her dorsal fin. We saw sea lions. I mean, eagles galore. But these guys, I think it was called the Alaskan Tour Company or something like that.
No.
And they were responsible for almost all the excursions that we did was the Alaskan Tour Company. And that's who Disney partnered with.
It
But
was Alaska Travel Adventure.
right, Alaska Travel.
And hi, Sarah and Alex. I'm sure you're not listening. But
Yes.
They were
Captain Alex. He's like, hey, he was the best. He was like, bear with me. He was like, you're guaranteed to see a whale there, but I feel bad because there's 10 boats on that one whale, and it's stressful for the animals. So we're gonna go find our own, and I promise you, we'll find one. And we did.
We found more
a
than
bunch.
one.
We found a bunch.
You found Sasha.
Yeah, which it was just
And-
awesome.
Fun fact that we learned that the boats are not allowed to get within 100 yards of a whale. So if they see a whale, they can only get up to 100 yards to it. But if a whale comes up near them, they have to shut the engine down. They have to stop the boat and just sit there and wait for the whale to move on.
And the other part about this is that they had a really good camaraderie between the two. Like Sarah was our
First mate,
first mate, and what if he had another title?
naturalist.
Naturalist. Neat. And they just had a fun camaraderie, and they would just play off each other. They were telling jokes, and you learned a lot, but you had a lot of fun at the same time. It was like being on a Disney excursion. Like, that's what I would picture on a Disney excursion.
It was like being on the Jungle Cruise, but
In real life.
in the water.
Well, I hope you hit him up on TripAdvisor.
I did already. Taken care of.
Awesome.
Taken care of.
That was the one thing that every excursion we went on, TripAdvisor. That's what we get paid. That's how we get paid. TripAdvisor. So if you're ever on a Disney cruise to Alaska, TripAdvisor.
We went back to the boat. We tooled around for a little bit. We walked around a little bit.
That sounds like road drinking.
It was a lot
Yeah.
of drinking. There was no time that we didn't have drinks.
Well, yeah.
But
Well,
actually,
we
no, we
did
didn't get off
salmon
the,
bake.
we didn't really have time. We went to the clam bake, and then we didn't really have time to
Salmon
actually
bake.
play in the city too much.
No.
Did they have any drinks on the whale watching
No.
tour?
No.
Okay.
No.
They won't. No.
Okay, I'm just asking.
There were drinks at the salmon bake.
Mikey, they're not fish. They're mammals.
Yes.
Hey, we had drinks on our Bermudian boat thing
Only on the way back.
After we paddled.
Only on the way
I was
back.
going to say, yes, after we paddled off about 1,200
And
calories.
we fought, and every couple had a little bit of a meltdown and
We
argument.
drank 2,000 on the way back. We went to the salmon bake, which is
What-
pretty cool.
What did you eat, Tim?
Macaroni and cheese, some baked beans with reindeer sausage, which is really
Reindeer
fucking good.
sausage?
Yeah,
Oh.
reindeer sausage was really good.
From the Redlands?
I'd eat
some
that.
scalloped potatoes.
Okay.
Food was good.
All right.
It was set in an old gold mine with a waterfall, and the one funny thing about Alaska is the plant life wants to kill you.
Of course.
Well,
Everything
I
wants to kill
don't
you.
know how true that is.
No, that's Australia.
No, it was just, I think we got told a tall tale at one point during
Well, there's
our...
some stuff called the Devil's Club that had these spikes on it, but the first guy told us it had neurotoxins, but everything else we saw after that didn't mention neurotoxins.
They knew their audience. This was our first stop in Alaska, and this was also our ziplining people. So, I mean, and they were, don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun with them, but you could tell they were a bunch of bullshitters at times, too,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah.
I mean, at one point
But
during
cool.
our... Oh, wait.
Adam, how was the salmon?
It was actually really, really fucking good.
I bet it was. My one of my former partners, he would go salmon fishing in Alaska every single year. He brought back salmon. It's amazing.
It is really good.
It's
really
so good.
Amazing. So we get back to the ship, and we get back in time to see the show. Tonight's show
What
was
show is
Frozen.
Okay.
Frozen.
No,
was
this
a good
isn't the
show.
same as the deck party.
No, this is
No,
an
no, it
actual...
was a stage show.
It was
It's
a stage
the-
show.
Did
The
you see
Broadway-
the,
okay.
the Tangled
Broadway-
show with us?
Thing.
Yes, you saw the Tangled show.
Yeah, he
You
saw the Tangled
show, with us,
show.
right, Mike?
Yeah, I saw Tangled.
Yeah, it was the same. It was the same thing, but with Frozen.
Okay.
I can honestly say I enjoyed this one a little bit more than the one on Broadway.
It was a lot better.
It was done better, in my opinion.
How can you enjoy anything Frozen?
I don't hate Frozen. I don't think it belongs in Epcot,
I don't hate it either. I think it's overdone.
but
Well, get ready. Get ready. 'Cause
The cruise kind
coming.
of gave me a second appreciation, like a renewed appreciation for Frozen.
now that the hype has died down, I can enjoy the film for what it is, and I can enjoy the music for what it is. It's fair.
I wish they would have
Bad
played
dad.
Higa.
They're not going to play that song because they probably
cruise,
But I enjoyed this. I really enjoyed it. The lady who played Elsa was phenomenal. Drank.
Yeah. I laughed when you said Frozen because where else but on a Disney ship can you watch a show and drink 2 bottles of wine?
Oh yeah, that too.
It's true. It's true.
Because that happened there too.
That
Aren't you
happened.
only allowed 2 bottles of wine?
Not when you're ordering it from the people.
Yeah, you can buy more on the cruise.
Well, yeah, our guy, he was the pool.
guy who
Your pool boy. Call him your pool boy.
anytime he saw me, he knew I needed a drink, and pretty much knew that. It's bad.
And that was the thing, like, you could walk into the elevator lobby, and there he was with a cart.
And he knew, hey, and he knew my name somehow, and I don't know how that happens. But
And for the life of me, I forget
I'm
his,
sure,
but I know I
Adam,
wrote
you
it down.
told
Hold
him
on.
at some point your name.
it's on my card,
Sure,
but
if you gave
that's
on
him
the
your
card.
root
Yeah,
card,
that-
yeah.
besides
You know,
that,
that's-
Martin. This
yes.
is Martin.
Damn, Gina.
And this was
that
our night.
Gina?
Damn, Gina.
Yo, brother man,
This
why
was
don't you
our
never use the door?
dinner was Triton's.
Back to Triton's.
Yes, which was good again. I mean, it's good. It's not great.
Do they change up the menu when they do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
all right,
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Every menu is different. And I don't remember the rest of the night. Not gonna lie. Because
Yes. That's a
we
good
went
night. Did
we
you go
went
back to Cadillac?
Yeah,
we went back to Cadillac because we didn't have to get our excursion was not till 11:30 the next day.
Or-
So
Catch can.
yeah, catch can. So
Catch can.
I was drunk.
Now, the portholes you had, were those at what would have been the Promenade Lounge?
Yeah,
It's still
it's
Promenade.
Yeah,
Promenade.
they have
Still
the
Promenade.
same,
Oh, still
same
Promenade.
lounge name.
Okay. Okay.
Was
Okay.
this
So that's
the
where
night?
you got all your portholes?
No, Saturday night was that night. Never mind. The next night was the night. I'm sorry. I'm dying.
Yeah. Catch can. So Saturday day, you kind of like sail up to Catch can, dock there, and you're there from like 11:30ish to evening time.
Yeah, till about 8:30, I want to say. 7:30, 8:30.
7:45 was
Something weird.
Did you guys do anything in Ketchikan?
Yeah, this is where we went to the sanctuary. And we walked through the rainforest, which is pretty freaking awesome. And the guide there was awesome. She was pointing out all the trees. She pointed out this weird slug that a whole bunch of little kids held that like shit and ate from the same hole in its side of its head. It was a lot of fun.
It ate shit and breathed from the same hole.
Yeah,
inside
it's
of its
fucking
head.
weird.
It was weird. Banana
It's
slug.
like a toddler.
Yes, exactly what it was. It's a toddler slug. That's the new name for it. And and then after that we went, and it was really interesting. We saw the carving. The
totem. Well, it was the hike to the Tongass rainforest,
What
which
you
is the
call me?
second largest rainforest
What is
in
it?
the world. Tongass. Yeah, it's
Tongue-
Tongass. Tongass.
Tongue gas. You know, you tongue ass.
Not Tongass.
tongue ass.
So, and then we went to the.
Hey,
I could knock
Tim,
myself
Tim,
on 5.
we don't kink shame on this show.
we don't.
You want
And
to
then-
toss a salad? Go for it. There,
two,
a presto.
And we went to the
salad
estuary, which is where they every year they hatch the salmon.
You had your what?
Hatch salmon.
I had my estuary on the ship. It was really bad.
You had to go
From
to
all
the-
that cheese at the charcuterie board.
By the way, I love the word estuary. I don't know why.
But Tongass
So
was
and then
okay.
it was we
Tongass
actually
was
saw
fine.
an Alaskan native carving totems.
Oh,
And-
is this where you got your souvenir?
No.
Well, no, not yet. Not
Okay.
yet, because he was carving the totems, and he was telling us a story about how he's like a third generation totem carver, and starting with his uncle, they would carve a totem, and then we noticed on one of the ones he had laying in front of us, it said "Not made in China." So James asked him about it, and he's like, "Well, it's kind of a protest because all along what they call Junk Street, which is that first street when you get off the boat, is all souvenir tchotchke shit. Like, it claims to be authentic merchandise, but it's all made in Taiwan and China and elsewhere. So all the native artists, we protest that stuff and we write, not made in China on our stuff." So Jim's like, "Well, that's what we want. We want to go to a place that's selling authentic native art and authentic native pieces. So where can we go?" So he told us about this little place called Crazy Wolf Studios. And so it's run by a friend of his, and he's a Tlingit Alaskan, which was 3 tribes in southeast Alaska. Is Tlingit, and I forget the other 2, but the majority of them are Tlingit. So we went over, after we left there, we went over there, and that's where we bought the orca paddle with the abalone inset, and James bought his halibut hook.
That's so cool.
But we sat there for like an hour or so talking to this guy, and he was painting on it looked like some kind of whale skin. He was painting some native art. It was so cool to just sit there and watch that and actually buy something that was made there as opposed to the shit that was on the main drag.
Yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to made to look like
Exactly.
it was from there.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's key anywhere you go, and anytime you go on a cruise, you're going to have those shops. The jewelry shops. Within that, like, first 5-mile radius of when you get off that ship. And it's going to be the shops that are shown on the ship where you can get your free necklace and you can get your free jewelry.
Which Tanzanite was big. I don't know why, but Tanzanite was big. They were giving away free Tanzanite.
But take the time to actually find those off, not necessarily off the Caribbean, you want to be a little bit more careful with, but
Oh yeah, you do.
take the time to actually explore a little bit and maybe get off the beaten path, especially in someplace like Alaska.
I got these crappy things from Jamaica. Don't worry, be happy, and then he misspelled Scott. And
Oh,
I had to
no.
carve it again. No problem. And then he misspelled Andrea.
But I mean, he's doing it in front of you. At least it's a one of a kind.
That is true.
Well, hang on. Did he carve them and then engrave them, or
Nope.
he just grabs them off the shelf and engrave them?
Nope, grabbed him off the shelf and engraved him.
But that
Okay, yeah, no.
they're pre-made someplace else.
Hey, look, when you go to the Duns River Falls, everybody is trying to sell you something.
Yes, but
Would you-
Dungeon Souls is awesome.
It is very
When
cool.
you buy something from this store, they give you a bio on the artist that created the piece. Like, we got the bio from the artist that created our piece, was the same guy who did James's piece. And the girls bought some jewelry, and they got the bio from the person who created their jewelry. It was cool. It was really cool to actually see. And
That's awesome. It's cool that you guys got to like talk to actual local artisans rather than just someone selling thing heads with your names misspelled.
Heads.
I don't know what these are. They're like
They're
like
thing
tiki
heads.
things, but they're like Bob Marley heads carved into wood.
most of the artists that were showcased in that studio lived in a Saxman village, which is the local native village, and the streets of this village are all lined with totems. I mean, all down the streets are all native carved totems. It was really
Awesome.
cool. So we passed by it when we headed to the nature center.
Awesome. Well, that kind of ends your time in Alaska because you get back on the boat and you start to head
Get a
back to
sea day.
Canada.
Yes, and this was the day I woke up and used my our free day passes.
To the spa.
It was,
Oh yes,
it was cold and rainy.
and dreary, and it was just like, you know what, I can use a spa day. So
So is same size spa on the Disney Magic,
yes, from what I
Except for-
understand,
except for they have the barbershop.
I think they all have the barbershop now.
Okay.
But it's smaller from what I understand than the bigger ship, so I'm gonna have to take the tour of the next ship that I go on. And
That is, by the way, that's code for I need a spa day, Tim.
no, I'll walk through it and try to win something. But we'll sit there and I will try to get on it, but we'll see how that works out. But in the Magic, they're the smaller spas. So what they have is they have two steam rooms in the adult only section, and there's a non-scented one, and then there's one that's scented with lavender or eucalyptus, depending on what time of the day it is.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Awesome. And then we got scrubs, so we scrubbed with the orange. I think I got orange or tangerine. I don't know. It was $9, but whatever.
Oh, you got old school DVC scrub.
Oh yes, which was awesome. And it's a really cool place to relax and unwind. And the shower thing is cool. I don't know if I needed to do it every time, but I kind of got addicted to it.
So wait, so it's basically just like a rainfall shower where you go in with like a swimsuit, I guess?
Yes, these are, you have to go with a swimsuit because they are co-ed.
Okay.
So, and on the Magic and the Wonder, they have separate changing rooms with a dry spa for men and women. I don't know if that's the same on the bigger ships. But yeah, you go in with the big...
Like a sauna kind of thing?
No, it's a dry spa. Like a
Oh,
sauna,
Yeah,
you...
Scott, it's a dry spa.
It's a dry room, pretty much, where it's like the wood ones with the teak.
Yeah, sauna.
Yeah, sauna.
Well, there's wet saunas and the dry... I don't know, I'm not up on all this shit. I'll be honest with you. The ones, there's steam rooms and there's saunas, whatever.
Oh,
Fuck it.
the one from Oaken's Trading Post. Woohoo!
Yes, that would be a sauna. That's in... They have a separate men's one and
Sauna.
women one.
No, that's a sauna.
Whatever, fuck y'all.
Yoo-hoo, family.
I'm getting drunk.
we got full Sydney.
We did. Well, someone's been drinking some of that Contro tequila.
I love my Contro tequila. Fuck y'all. I love you, Sydney. Don't
She's she'll laugh at this. You know what? She needs this tonight because Branson the championship game at his cornhole tournament.
Well, she's not feeling any pain. She's drinking Coke and Jack and Coke, so she's good.
She
came back from Paris,
She
so-
answered the phone when I called Brant.
Did she say, Burke residents, we can't get a turtle. How can I help you?
Oh,
No,
shit.
she's like, hey, Scott, Brant's at a cornhole tournament. So what else? What else was on the spa menu there?
That was really it. You can get full treatments. The showers, you're supposed to do it in a special order, and I listened to it twice and still couldn't quite catch the order I was supposed to do it in.
Did you do the cold shower?
Yes,
What was that like?
cold.
I was in the pool.
It was, it's not really a shower, but like a mist.
Okay,
And
maybe not so bad.
it's
Like a
really-
Canadian
No, it's
mist.
it's interesting. It's cold. Like
Now,
at one
are
point,
there-
it was a challenge to see how long one of us could stay in and see if we could wait till the light went off. Because you hit a button, the light goes on, and the spray starts happening. So it's like, am I going to stay in here the whole time? Am I going to stay here the whole time? Can I do this the whole time? And yeah, I did it, but it was cool. I really enjoyed it.
Did you feel like Jack yelling at Rose? It's a Titanic thing. So moving on.
When did they have a sauna?
They didn't, but he was in the water and it was cold, and she was not.
No, you weren't submerged. It was like a mist.
Right. It's okay. It's hi, Adam.
Hi. Hi, Mikey.
Were there fragrances in any of these shower things?
No. The only one that
Oh,
there were
that's a
sound
shame. It's called
effects.
senses. Maybe
No,
it's called
the
scents.
steam room had the fragrance.
See, and I thought these showers would, like, because the way they're named, there's like the rainforest
Yes.
one, the thunderstorm one, and the cold one. I thought they would have like some sort of like added scent to it.
I don't think you could do the scents in the way that they're set up.
No,
'Cause
I mean, I
there's
thought they
way
would like
too
pipe
much-
it in or anything like
There's
that.
too much water for that to happen. I mean, it would wash away.
I've farted in a bathtub, and let me tell you.
Again, Mikey, this is a shower.
Oh, well, I've done it there too.
Well, did you-
Sounds weird.
Did you shat or did you fart?
No.
There's a difference.
Well, I think shat is the past tense of shit. You're looking for shark.
Shart, there you go. I've been drinking.
Yes, that's fine. No, I have not been on Shark Tank.
Well, this is shark
We're
shower.
just like it's Shark Tank is when all of the ideas are just shitty.
God, this stuff is Blanton's gold, man.
This was
Well,
just
I gave up
This
on
is just
that.
a shardy time.
I can't afford to keep drinking the Blantons. I'm on to something else.
Oh, so no, I mean, Adam, look, all kidding aside, now you got this as part of your like booking this thing. Would you pay for the
A day
20
pass,
something
yes.
a $25 a day pass?
Yes, I would do this again in a heartbeat.
I would do this.
But I would not necessarily do it on a cruise where I had to pay for a full week. Because I literally sat there for a good hour and a half, 2 hours. And
Well, would you do this on a cruise where you were only on the cruise for like 4 or 5 days, or would you do this on a cruise where you're there for a week and you've got time to kill?
it depends on what I'm doing on the cruise. If the shore
There was just so much
excursions,
to do here.
if me getting off the boat is a key factor every day, then no. It's not worth a week pass.
Right.
Because I'm going to feel like I just spent all this money that I'm not going to have enough time to spend 2 hours in a spa. Where on my Friday was the last day of the cruise, I had that time just to spend that one day. So it really depends on how you cruise and what you're doing. Like the next cruise in January, there's a chance that I might buy it because I'm really probably only going to get off the boat one day.
A castaway key.
Right.
Not a
So
Right.
it really varies on the cruise experience. If you're somebody who doesn't get off the boat, if you're somebody who's is not all about the shore excursions and does their own thing and can set aside like an hour and a half to 2 hours, go for it. But for me, it just didn't make sense to buy a week pass for it.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to buy a full week, no. If you were to buy a day,
Yes.
yes.
I would prefer to spend the money on the upscale meals.
On Palo again.
Oh, I would do Palo Brunch every day if I could.
And I can't wait for the bigger boats to try Remy.
Oh, I've heard Remy is amazing.
So I'm excited.
All right, so your last full night on the boat, what was your dinner?
Tiana's place again.
You finished out with Tiana's place. You know what? It looks nice. It looks like a good upgrade
It's
from
so
the old
much
restaurant.
fun. It's just a fun restaurant.
The band was amazing. The energy was amazing, and they bring you every dessert.
Well, it's because we asked for it.
Because we couldn't make up mind beignets, pecan pie. I mean, it was
It's
just so much.
just
to
a
choose
fun. Tiana was on point with the voice and everything.
I am
and it's
seriously
just-
getting
straight
hungry.
out of the movie.
I'm seriously getting hungry.
I was like, "Did you know Sydney?"
We asked. She
oh
said,
yeah.
I said, "Who?"
"Oh, you mean that extra? Yeah, sure, I know who she is." That's what she said.
that extra from Gonzales,
No,
Louisiana.
no, guys, she was a co-star. Co-star.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. My bad.
She signs autographs.
But she is extra. I'm just kidding. Love you, Sydney.
She just.
It was just weird to see Tiana in that white dress.
No, the white dress was at
at the end.
at the
Yeah,
end.
I know, like at the end, but to me, I always for
The
some
green
reason
one.
associate the green
Right,
one with Tiana.
right.
Yeah,
But the white dress-
that was just
Well, that's why
so
she's in the
weird.
parks in the green one.
Yeah,
But no, there are a couple
she's
occasions she's in the white dress as like the flapper Tiana.
The white
the
dress
parks.
is when she owns her restaurant.
Right.
Always in the white dress.
She would wear that when they did that cruise around the Liberty Bell or Rivers of America thing.
Exactly. It's always the white dress when she.
It looks
owns her
cool.
stuff.
saying.
It looks
I
cool.
knew who she was. I was just taken a little bit aback.
Well, it looks like you guys had a fun time. I can't say I'm not the least bit jealous because Alaska looks beautiful. I mean, as a guy who loves kind of the wilderness thing, that looked beautiful.
Oh,
Just
Wilderness
absolutely
Lodge.
beautiful.
You have the Wilderness Lodge soundtrack?
I have the soundtrack. I have the candle. I am fully Wilderness Lodge.
It was
Be prepared to listen to that whole soundtrack the whole time you're on.
no. It was only when you were docked in Alaska.
I listen to that all
It was
the time.
it was beautiful. It was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
It was the least Disney part of the cruise was the music. This cruise, because
well,
of
yeah,
where
because
we
it's
were.
like Last of the Mohicans
Exactly.
and Grand Canyon Suite.
I love Last Mohican soundtrack.
It's really good. It is a really good soundtrack.
I mean, I bought that in high school, and I listened to it like all the time.
But it's worth
I
it
was a
to
nerd.
save up for this cruise. It's worth it to get a veranda room for this cruise. If you're not going to do any other cruise as a veranda, do this cruise as a veranda cruise.
I will say, I think with the Caribbean cruises, because your sea days, I mean, it's just ocean.
Nothing to watch.
It's
It's
ocean.
water.
Yeah, it's water. You can save money and do the porthole.
Now I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm really not trying to sound bougie or anything.
But
Look at your prices. And seriously, carefully look at your prices. Sometimes your veranda's literally $100 difference.
oh yeah, no,
And
sometimes it is.
that's what it was for next August's cruise. It's literally was less than $100.
No,
to
the porthole room and the veranda room that we got were the same
well,
price.
the same price.
Yeah, if that's the case, then definitely do the veranda room, obviously. But if it's like for us when we did the Disney cruise, it was a like $500 per room difference.
Yeah, that's a little bit different.
Right. And quite honestly, in the Caribbean, get the porthole and just get on the boat because being on the boat and being on the cruise is better than not being on the cruise.
And I'm still going to give a shout out to our travel agent extraordinaire, Jillian.
Yes, Jillian, as you wish vacations.
Yeah, she did a great job with you guys.
She
Oh,
helped
she
us
always
out,
does.
and I will be tapping her like you wouldn't believe for our next cruise to sit there and say, I need you to get me Remy, figure this out.
And look, and that's the benefit of using a Disney certified travel agent for the cruises because there is a lot of leeway that goes into the cruise. It's not the same as Disney parks. You can, they can help you book things earlier. They can help you book things. Make sure you get into Palo, get into different events. So definitely check out your local Disney travel agent for those things. Or Jillian, because apparently she did a good job with you guys.
Because
She does. I mean,
she's amazing.
we've sent all our friends to her. She's absolutely amazing. She goes above and beyond. Even if you just want to book a Walt Disney World trip, she goes above and beyond for those too. I mean, she's an amazing travel agent.
Awesome. Well, it is good to have you guys back. Tim and Adam, you guys need to come help clean up because there's still kind of a mess down here.
Clean up what?
You guys didn't clean the fucking studio while we were gone. I'm not cleaning up the fucking
clean up
speakeasy.
what? I don't know what we're talking about.
Adam,
I'm confused.
Adam, Brent and I have cameras.
What is this shit on my studio chair here?
We have cameras in the speakeasy.
I've never been to your speakeasy. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's a lie. You've been there you're on the show.
Hey,
that was
I'm ordering
one
cameras to be
so
installed
many
in the
months
3 Sheet
ago.
studio right now as we speak. So.
Wait, you all got me drunk and spun me around, put a paper bag over my head, and sent me out in the middle of the street.
Yeah,
so
and
I've
actually,
never been there
actually,
either.
you guys are coming back like next month.
Sorry,
Yeah, you're coming back next
supposed to
month.
be April because now I'm really confused. But
I know. Well, we had to clean up the speakeasy, and that takes time.
What happened?
I don't know. I will say I want to thank everybody for joining us on this week's show. If you haven't checked it out, www.themagicalmeltdown.com. It's where you can find a lot of good stuff, glassware, flasks. You can take your road sodas and make road sodas out of the flask.
You can carry them in your nice, insulated stainless steel tumbler.
Yes,
Just
you can.
don't carry them in a coffee cups.
Coffee cups, yeah. We have even our teepublic page has awesome coffee cups. I take my coffee to work every day in Magical Meltdown coffee cups. My Pure Poison one is my favorite. Armchair Imagineer is also really good. But also, like I said, glassware. I'm drinking out of the original 3 Sheets quadrant glassware with my name on it.
I've got the updated one.
Yeah, you've got the hipster one.
I got
Hipster.
Mickey. I got the partner statue on the
Yep.
bottom. I don't know which one that is.
The original one.
That's the original one.
That's the original.
And so I encourage all of you to go check that out. Take a look and buy some shirts, buy some glassware, and support 3 Sheets and rep it in your own life. Thank you guys for joining us this week on 3 Sheets of Mouse. If you like the show, please go over to iTunes, rate, review, subscribe. That's the best way to let other people like you find the show because we want to be a part. Like when you search Disney on iTunes, we want the most debaucherous, most dedicated, heinous Disney podcast to be first on that list. So make sure you not only share the show, but rate, review, and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We're over at 3 Sheets Podcast. If you're in the parks, tag us on your Instagram and make sure you use the hashtag 3 Sheets Nation. That way we can like your photos and see what you're doing in the parks because it's kind of fun to be there when we're not. But if you really want to interact with the group, head over to Facebook group, facebook.com/group/3 Sheets. That's where really all the 3 Sheets Nation stuff just happens. We've had a lot of new members this week. They've acclimated to the toxicity levels. They've got their liver.
Did you put them in a little baggie to soak them and hang them in the water in the tank a little bit before you let them out in the wild?
Yeah. We really have to really acclimate them to the wild. Put them in a baggie. Make sure they get acclimated to the tank, and then let them go.
Just watch out for shark bait.
Yeah, shark bait.
Ooh ha ha.
But definitely come hang out with us over there. If you have friends that love Disney as much as you do, make sure you invite them to the group. But if they do, Tim, what should your friends do? And what should you tell your friends to do?
Answer the fucking questions.
Because there's a lot of people we decline because you invite your
Don't
friend.
answer the questions.
Yeah, you invite your friend and you don't say, hey, I invited you to this group. It's awesome. You'll love it. Make sure you answer the question. And if they don't want to answer the question, steal their phone. Hack it.
Answer for them.
Hack it. And if you...
Bonus points if you answer them funnily. Right? Is that a word, funnily?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's...
Funny?
Funnily. No, funnily is a good
Funnily?
word. It's a good word.
We're making it a word.
With much humor.
Listen up, Merriam-Webster. We're making it a word.
Yeah.
Funnily.
So if you do hack your friend's phone and you answer the questions funnily, bonus points to you and drop your name so we can mention that on the welcome.
And if by hack you mean pick up.
Well, yeah, that's called hacking.
Okay.
Steal.
Oh, is that what they call hacking?
Yeah,
I hacked my mom's phone, and here's a selfie of me.
That's called
Because
hacking today.
you picked it up because she didn't push lock.
Or she doesn't have a password.
Funnily,
And
that
if the phone
happens
needs
sometimes.
facial recognition, I don't care.
Funnily.
I don't want to know how you got past the facial recognition.
Yeah, right?
Just do it.
Just do it. So make sure you answer the questions. So look, guys, tonight, awesome show. I'm going to start with Mikey tonight. Mikey, give me your closing remarks.
I'm glad you're back. It's been difficult trying to keep Scott in line because all he wants to talk about are the prequels and Star Trek.
What?
So thank you. I'm glad you went on this cruise. I wish you would have found a way to take me with you. I would have. I mean, you could have put me in your bosuns or your coxswains.
Not your
either
coxswains.
way.
Your coxswain sack?
Yep, right there in your. I could have been your bosun's mate. Alaska's a bucket list.
You know the
for
bosun's
me.
mate's like a 15 or 13-year-old boy, right?
I can shave all of my hair.
That all has to be cut.
Oh my goodness.
Well, yeah, if I'm going to pass for a bosun's mate, it'll have to be smooth. Good show. I'm glad you went. It's fun to hear how some of the Disney ships differ from other ships you've been on, because it's almost like going to a different park.
Yeah.
It's
Pretty much.
It's like
Yeah,
going
pretty
to Orlando and then rolling over to DCA or hitting up Paris or Shanghai. So it's interesting because there's a lot that's the same, but the way things are done can be different. So that's always fun to hear about from someone who's done it firsthand. I want to take just a half a second here, and I'm done. Maybe like a couple seconds then to plug. Hey, Three Sheets Nation, we got a hotline. Call us up, man. Text us. Call us 407-906-4698. Bonus points if you text us while you're in the park instead of enjoying it, so we can enjoy it. Or call us because
if you leave a voicemail, it's going to make it onto the show.
Bonus points if you voicemail us while you're Bay Laking.
Oh, well, yeah.
just go ahead and send news at that point. I think
Yeah, there you go.
those won't make it into the group.
No.
No.
Mark
They're
Zuckerberg
just for our own private enjoyment.
Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg will flag those.
He flags a lot of stuff.
Apparently. All right, Tim, give me some closing remarks tonight. Welcome. First of all, welcome back.
Thank you. It's been 3 weeks, right? We've been away for 3 weeks, but
Well, 2 shows, 3 weeks.
Yeah, Scott math.
Yeah.
yeah, Scott Math.
Scott Math.
Scott Math
Great
is
to be
not a
back,
thing.
but honestly, I wish
Scott
we were
Math
back
is a
on that
thing.
boat.
Just deal with it. Scott Math will always be a thing.
Says
It'll always be a thing.
Father's Day is not a day.
Because 10% is 20%.
Well, 10% plus 10% is 20%.
Not the way you were working it.
Nope.
Scott Math.
It's great to be back. Although I still kind of wish we were still on that boat, but I'm enjoying being back in the studio at my brother's and gonna move on, get ready for Big Summer Blowout.
Yeah, and here to tell us about Big Summer Blowout, Adam Blistein.
What's up?
Come on down.
motherfuckers? I don't know what I'm going to tell you that hasn't already been said. It's literally right down the corner, and most things have been planned out already. Some things might change, but it looks like it's pretty set. We're going to have... Shit, I'm not ready.
We're gonna have prom.
Yes.
Prom will be Saturday night of Blowout.
Whispering Canyon.
Whispering Canyon is that same night.
Yep.
We have Sheeter's take on... I don't remember the titles of anything. Fuck, give me a minute.
Well, there's also the Adam Blistein special, the Party Source Rex.
Partysaurus Rex, that will be the Wednesday night of the original Blowout. Friday morning, we are trying to take on... Sheeter's take on Batu.
Oh, God.
Yes. I think that was Friday morning. I don't remember all the dates. I've been drinking, and I'm still getting over this
Mikey.
freaking post-vacation crap that I have going on. So
Mikey, they're planning an invasion army.
Mikey's part of that invasion army.
Son of a bitch!
What do you expect? I'm leading the charge, man.
So you're Roger.
Yep, I'm Roger.
We are all Roger. So we are all set
listen,
to go.
if I'm anybody, I'm Jar Jar.
The great thing about this, though, is that you do not have to have a park ticket for the Saturday night events.
Yep.
Just show up.
jelly
Let us know you're
rolls.
coming. Let us know to look out for you. Prom, dress up. Don't dress up. Show up. 80s, 90s theme is the real plan for it, though.
Okay, so real quick, the Whispering Canyon is kind of booked up at this point.
That's done.
Yeah,
that's
that's
out.
done.
You can't get into that.
There will be another round of confirmations coming out probably the beginning of August. Mm-hmm. Just to make sure everybody who's still down, but you can hope for a spot. If you want to go on a wait list, I will open up a wait list for y'all.
If you want to get on the wait list, message Adam, message Tim, message Mikey, myself. We'll make sure you get on that wait list. But if you can't make that, then the Shooters Prom, where is that?
Shooters Prom is going to be at
Jelly rolls.
No,
Atlantic Dance Hall.
Atlantic Dance Hall.
Dance
Sorry,
Hall.
Atlantic Dance Hall on Boardwalk.
in Boardwalk.
Should be easy to get in.
Yeah.
It's always
Yeah.
empty.
So
Never
make
crowded.
sure you dress up.
Or dress down.
Dress down, your Sunday finest, either your tuxedo or your jean shorts. We don't care.
It's 80s and 90s
fishnets and
themed,
neon.
so
Yep.
just don't forget
I would
that.
say just try to keep it as formal as possible. If you can't hit 80s or 90s, just go as formal as you feel comfortable.
Jean shorts and a tuxedo t-shirt.
No.
It says I'm formal, but I'm here to party.
Have you already seen Todd Miller's costume?
Have you seen Tim Elbing and Todd Miller together?
All right, I have a feeling that Tim.
That was one time. I was young.
Camp?
I have a feeling that Todd is going to rock the tuxedo t-shirt.
No, I'm not rocking that.
No,
t-shirt.
Todd. I
Maria will
just
kill
see I just see Todd rocking that sleeveless tuxedo t-shirt.
No, I think he's gonna go with the full tuxedo, the full orange tuxedo.
We'll
Oh,
see.
God. Oh, God.
That'll be awesome if he does, but we'll see. Also, don't forget, we have our running group. We have a bunch of running events coming up, including Dopey 2020, which a bunch of us has signed up for. Princess, which is an official meetup now because I will be there. I will be running the 10 and a half with all y'all because I cannot get off that Thursday to do the Friday race.
Did you just qualify yourself as a princess?
He just said it's an official meetup, which is what I needed. That qualifies it as being unofficial up until a host showed up.
Yeah.
which
That's what you
validates
said.
My argument.
Because that was you, because I gave
was
up
your
arguing
argument.
with you, and that's why I'm going, bitch.
Okay, now it's my fault.
Yeah. Yes, it is your
your
fault. I wasn't running this way until everybody complained to me. Mikey's saying it's not an official meetup.
Technically,
So
he's
I
right.
blame
It's not
Mikey.
an official meetup until a host is there, and by all means, now the Princess Marathon of what is that? February or
Wait,
April?
why aren't you running if it's a Princess Marathon? I'm sorry, I forgot.
I run
Scott.
sporadically.
Sporadically. But yes, I will be there for Princess. It is official. I have
Now, when
booked-
is that? That's February of 2020.
Yeah, February 2020.
Yeah.
I don't have the exact dates of everything, and we are starting to plan that out as well. Star Wars, there are a bunch of you running. I cannot run Star Wars this time around, but I'm sure there'll be
that's
enough people. And
Too many miles and too many months.
Yeah, too many miles, too many months, not enough money kind of
Right.
situation at this point, and not enough vacation days.
Yeah.
But
So-
maybe I'm trying to figure out if I can maybe squeeze in Wine and Dine 2020. We'll see.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, look, it's a lot of fun. You know where you'll find all this stuff? Over on our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/3sheets. That's where all of the events are. So I will say it's been a fun time. I'm glad Tim and Adam are back. Mikey, I enjoyed our alone time, but it's better with the four of us.
Stupid as it sounds, as much fun as I had on this vacation, I did miss you fuckers a lot. So,
Well, we are kind of awesome, me and Mikey.
all right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I just said I missed y'all. I didn't say you're all awesome.
We didn't go that far.
Well, then, I will say, at this point, from all of us here at Three Sheets to the Mouse, thank you for making our show part of your Disney life. Thank you for your time this time. And until next time, so long for just a while.